The Being Team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If you're making the minimum payments, but your balance is just not going down, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it will take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 5 million people. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. If you're struggling with credit card debt, call Consolidated Credit now.
Call now, 800-552-6750. That's 800-552-6750. 800-552-6750.
Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031. Licensed by Virginia State Corporation. Commission license number DC 32. Establishment of a plan may adversely affect the individual's credit rating or credit scores. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase financial charges or collections activity, including litigation.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
For Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call, then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations.
Sacktown Sports.
It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Kings, they don't show up. Are we used to it now? Are we used to the Kings just when you see them play a really good game that something's coming, right? Something is going to happen in that next game, and they are not going to show up in the same way because they didn't show up. And we're not going to try to get too negative because, as we said, on this stretch, you could still go 5-1, right? Now you have to beat the Thunder. We were talking about these games before the 3-game gauntlet that they have next week with the Celtics, the Suns, and the Timberwolves. And the Suns look pretty darn good without Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal returning to action. So they could be full strength. I believe they also said that Kevin Durant might be playing tonight. So you could get – the Kings could be one of the only teams to see the Suns' big three this season. And I think what we're seeing now, Chris, and again, I got a message for the Kings owner, Vivek. We are going to talk because the next back-to-back ends with the Phoenix Suns. And I got something to say for the fans, okay? I have a proposal to stop this madness. All right, so we're going to get into that as well. Draymond Green, as we talked about video games yesterday, and Nate Littlefield behind the glass today. We talked about video games yesterday. We didn't bring up Mortal Kombat, and that's a little bit of what we saw with Draymond Green and his 360 slap. Felt like when you hit all the control buttons at the right time and you do a special. That was Draymond Green. So we'll talk about that and what the suspension might look like. And Chris doesn't want to do this, but unfortunately he has no choice when Shams reports that the Warriors already came to Klay Thompson with an offer during the summer, and Klay said, no, thank you, okay? We are going to discuss, just like any other player. Yesterday, we talked about other players to trade for. Why wouldn't we talk about Klay Thompson, who's been the Kings killer, 36 points in one quarter? Why wouldn't we talk about Klay wearing the purple?
I'll tell you why.
We will talk about it. Chris Watkins, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I didn't get hit in the face yesterday, so I would say that's a minor victory. Yes. But, I would say pretty good, especially considering, like you said, it was a pretty disappointing game, I think, to say the least yesterday, down 30 for pretty much the entirety of the game. How'd the post-game go? It was actually surprisingly well. Mm-hmm. It was one of those where, I guess it's in a weird way for the post-game show, at least, it was good that the Kings got blown out for that long because the entirety of the fourth quarter, or as the third quarter was winding down, I was like, well, this is going to be the shortest show I do all year long, no doubt. And then, the fourth quarter went how the fourth quarter went, still lost by 20, gave me some time to kind of cool down. And I decided, you know what, we're not even going to really talk about this game today. Yeah. We'll of course mention it and talk about some of the highlights and, of course, some of the lowlights as well. But let's focus on some other things, some bigger picture stuff. So, it was a good post-game show, and it felt positive, which felt nice because I feel like, it's really hard to not get, we talk about it all the time, but hard not to get lost in the day-to-day of all of this. And after a performance like last night, it's super easy to just go right back into the deep end, hit the trade machine again. Oh, we're still going to do it. It feels like you said, with the ups and downs that the Kings have had this year, it feels unhealthy to ride the roller coaster the entire way. And so, I kind of had to hop off on the way down here. So
getting off of Space Mountain.
Feeling good. Yeah, exactly.
No more Medusa. And by the way, we have a different time today, as we were talking to Jason Ross during our crossover. A different time for our Kings Roundtable. We know everybody loves our Kings Roundtable with Brendan Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli. That will be at 1 p.m. That will be at actually 12:45. So you don't want to miss that. 12:45 will be the Kings Roundtable. Get your calls in at that time. Get your texts in. Get your Sack chats in at that time. 916-339-1140. We're also going to get into Shohei Ohtani and his deferment and his tax evasion and how it is all legal. A couple really interesting nuggets on that. And as the guy or someone that has come from the Bay Area. Buster Posey said some things last year about the Giants unable to sign free agents, and does it have anything to do, we're not getting political here, but does it have anything to do with the current state of the Bay Area? So we will dive into that. And I know whether you're from the Bay Area and live in Sacramento, whether you're from Sacramento, everybody will have an opinion on that stuff. And by the way, Jung Hoo Lee has been signed to the Giants. Okay. He has balled out in the Korean League, and the Giants signed him, and I'm very excited for it. I saw a lot of his highlights and what he's been able to do. So we have his stats, but we also have what he was predicted to be paid versus what he actually got paid. And it'll surprise you how different. Everybody says overpay, but it'll surprise you how different those numbers are and whether you feel the same or different. So I want to start here, Chris, just to get your initial thoughts on so you're obviously the games are going on at the same time. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I don't know if it's because the Kings are my local game, but the multi-view that, I have YouTube TV, others have been doing it as well. For some reason, they will not they don't care for football, right? So for football, whether we have the Niners game, but the Niners game would still be part of the multi-view with other games. Yeah. They will not do that for Kings.
I've noticed that as well. Right.
Have you noticed that? I don't know if the NBA doesn't allow it because I have League Pass and I'm thinking, okay, Warriors game here, Kings game here, and they won't let it happen.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on with it because, like you said, you can do it for the football package. I think you might only be able to do it with the two national games, though I don't have YouTube. I don't have Sunday Ticket through my YouTube TV account, so it's like a whole separate thing. So. Maybe that's the case, but it's really frustrating to me that you can't include the NBC broadcast onto that multi-view on YouTube TV. It doesn't make any sense. And it would have been great. I mean, especially on a night like last night, I think they had the NBA crunch time thing going on NBA TV where it's kind of like their red zone. Yeah. I guess that's a nice second option, but it would have been really nice to have the Kings game, the Warriors game on at the same time and being able to see the fallout of what happened in real time, because I didn't get to see it until about 5 or 10 minutes after and really only saw the highlight. Or the low. I don't know. What do you call that? I guess at this point it is a Draymond Green highlight reel that he's adding to.
And people are adding to it. It's going to be ridiculous as always. We have an early entry for Sack Chat of the day from Amid Rock as I bring up Klay Thompson. And I feel like it was just last week. Somebody, I think it was Kendrick Perkins or somebody saying he needs a fresh start. The Lakers would still take him. And you have Amid Rock here on the Sack Chat saying, we don't need any dried up splash, brother.
Yep.
That's messed up.
It's fact.
Do we think Klay's done?
Yes, he's done. Like, it's not even that. I mean, he's done being the elite player that he was before. Now, can he be a productive shooter in this league? Absolutely. But this is what we were talking about this last week with the Kevin Huerter versus Klay Thompson comparison. At this point in his career, not saying their careers go hand in hand, but just saying meet us today here, December 13th, 2023. What Klay Thompson does and brings to the table isn't that different than what Kevin Huerter is expected to bring to the table.
No, and I agree with that.
No, you did. Absolutely.
I
you brought it up, I think, initially.
Yeah, and we got to get to a break, but when we get into it, Shams is reporting that during the summer, the Warriors came to Klay with around the range of $48 million for 2 years, right? So that's $24 million a year. I don't know if Klay thought he was worth more than that. Obviously, we did that a couple weeks ago. Klay is in the top 10 for average annual salary. Okay, he's at 43 or something absurd like that.
Insane.
24 sounds pretty darn good to me, but maybe Klay thought I can play my way up to 30. Brother, you're hustling backwards. Okay, it's not a Schroeder type of fumble, but you're getting closer because 24 is looking mighty good. And I'd pay 24 for Kevin Huerter, and Kevin Huerter is what, at 18 or something like that?
Don't even 17. Yeah, he might be at 15,
something like that. So we'll see what happens. So we will get into that when we get back. A message to Vivek and the ownership group and the front office for the Sacramento Kings. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Yep, that trailer hitch and folding bed cover from Truck Smart makes road trips a breeze.
Right? I'm so much more organized on the job site since Truck Smart installed my truck rack and toolbox.
And they had it all in stock, so I just waited as they installed everything.
Take a look at this sweet Rhino truck lining. They sprayed it on.
Yeah, you win. That is sweet.
Truck Smart, truck and SUV accessories for on the road and the job site. Stop by one of our 2 locations in Rockland or Auburn. TruckSmart.com. Your truck's gonna love them.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat. Fight! Draymond Green. I choose you. I'm just going through right now. Yeah. You got to unlock Draymond Green. That's how dangerous he is. You got to unlock him.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about video games yesterday. Big DLC character.
Yes.
Downloadable content. 1,000%.
You have to get.
It's like he's in the Bruce Lee package, the Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
You can get them with Draymond Green as well.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Let's go through Draymond's special moves.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pause and you you get all the special moves.
Well, his kick is just a straight up.
Yeah.
We know he's just going
right.
Here like
if we're talking Mortal Kombat too, Johnny Cage has the groin punch. Draymond's got that for sure.
You got to do the groin punch. You have the A-Town stomp.
Right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the
stomp. That's a finish him move.
The chokehold, of course.
The chokehold, right?
Yeah.
That's BBCB.
Right.
Okay, or if you're playing PS4, what is it? Triangle, square, triangle,
well,
up,
I guess
down, up.
He just unlocked a new move yesterday.
That's
with the spinning dervish.
The spinning, so that just gonna
that might be his fatality.
So be sure you got to download the newest version. Make sure you update so you get Draymond's newest move that he unleashed.
Crazy,
what are we calling it? The 360 slap.
Yeah, and then
the tornado slap.
His victory stance, like when he wins, is the backpack shot. Maybe.
He just puts on a backpack.
Yeah. Remember the one in all the Draymonds where he runs down? Who was it when he tackles that guy? Something happens on one end. It's the most one of the most famous
the one they
ones.
just showed the other. Yes,
he gets up from the baseline and sprints and just tackles him. That I don't know what we gotta call that something.
Right? Didn't he like a week ago or a week and a half ago? He like tackled somebody as well. Didn't he? Like kind of a baby suplex. No. What you're talking about isn't what I'm talking about.
Okay.
What you're talking about is that's like a clip that's going around now.
Yes.
Where, he falls baseline, goes completely opposite end.
Was that
and
the one with Donovan Mitchell?
I think so. It was there was another one that was very, very recent where he pretty much wrapped the dude around the waist and then kind of like DK Metcalf over the weekend, just kind of, it was like a baby suplex, threw him down.
Yeah. So look, on a day where the Kings didn't show up, at least Kings fans can lick their wounds a little bit because Draymond has been able to take our minds off of how much the
appreciate it.
Kings seem to stink on back-to-backs. And they really do. It's bad, and I want to say something to the Kings owner, Vivek Ranadive, because people spend their hard-earned money. We started this week talking about restaurants and spending your hard-earned money and wanting to get your money's worth. And I want to say something right now to Vivek. Right now, the Kings are 0-3 on their back-to-backs. They lost 129-93 to the Pelicans. They lost 131-117 against the Clippers. And last night, they lost 119-99 against the Clippers again. And this is what I want to say to Vivek. Okay, Vivek, You respect the Kings fans. You love them. Everybody calls them the best fans in the NBA. Well, we can't disrespect them anymore. There's one thing if it's happening away. You can't really control that. But this is what I want to say to you right now. The next back-to-back is Friday, December 22nd. Then the Kings play the Timberwolves December 23rd.
Oof.
Vivek, the front office, the ownership group, I would say that if the Kings put forth the same effort as they have put forth on these other back-to-backs, everybody in Golden 1 should be able to get their ticket refunded. Okay? The Beam is making you a lot of money. The Kings are doing well right now. It's all good. This is somebody's Christmas present. Somebody has saved up for this.
Right.
And if the Kings come out there and lay an egg and let Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards be the Grinch and ruin a young Kings fan Christmas, they might become Timberwolves fans after this. Vivek, you got to refund those parents. You got to refund the fans their money. If they come out and they lose by more than 10, refund the money. We know you got it. Do the right thing. They're 0-3 in back-to-backs, okay? And 2 of them have been at home.
Right.
This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It's not great. It's just like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not an excuse. That's the problem. Like, again, we talk about excuse for a reason all the time on this show, but it's like, it's everybody's got to deal with them. And again, I think to build upon your point, we can't just count those as losses. Like, you can't just look at the schedule. I understand schedule losses are a thing. No. Sometimes 3 games in 4 nights
or whatever. They were both coming off of back-to-back.
Exactly. They're both coming off of back-to-backs. Clippers didn't look that tired.
Nope.
I don't know. They didn't seem to have much. I know they didn't travel, but like, I'm sorry.
And they had a close game. I would argue a closer game with the Blazers than the Kings had with the Nets.
Absolutely. And I mean, what are we? So are we just supposed to chalk down every single loss? No, like, or every single back-to-back is a loss. It's I don't know. Like, I don't know if Vivek will listen to you. I think it's a great campaign. I think you should absolutely campaign for it. I was at the Kanye concert that got canceled at Golden One Center. We all got our money back because we didn't get to see the show that we were promised. Right. So, you could argue that there should be a similar policy in place.
If the team doesn't show up, what did I pay for? Yeah. What did I pay for?
Yeah, that's I wish we could live in a world in which that was real, because I mean, that's like you said, though. I mean, there is like fact based in what you're saying. Like, people are spending their hard-earned money on these games, and now I'm not saying the Kings aren't acknowledging that, and I'm not saying they're trying to go out there and ruin people's day, and they're actually like, we don't care about the fans. We're just going to go out there and if we win, we win, but we're not going to exert any extra effort. But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it shouldn't be, especially because last year this wasn't a problem. I think you read their record last year. They were above 500 on back-to-backs last year. Yeah. I don't know why this team is struggling. You would think, with another year of experience under their belt, I would say they're deeper this year than they were last year. It doesn't make any sense. And really, that's been the story of this year. There's been so many things about this story so far for this Kings season that just don't make sense, and this is definitely one of the biggest things.
I already told you, I don't buy second half of back-to-back tickets. Yeah. I don't go to those.
No, you shouldn't.
I don't buy tickets for those games. Yeah. You don't know who's going to play, right? And you don't know who's going to show up, even if they're active. Right. I mean, Chris, it was so. And look, we got 4 hours to get through this. Yep. We have our Kings roundtable at 12:45. So we have plenty of time to turn this thing around, and I'm not going to overreact, and neither will you. Yeah. But it was embarrassing. Yeah. There were two turnovers by De'Aaron Fox, and one was cross-court fine. One specifically, the most, and I'm going to try not to be Zion here, the most lackadaisical, all right, pass I've ever seen, where it was De'Aaron trying to pass it to Keegan. They didn't even pass half court, and it just gets picked off. You have a team in the Clippers who are synonymous with not playing as much as they should, right? Resting and things like that. they probably would have been willing to rest these guys, okay, if the Kings had come out firing on all cylinders.
Right.
But that wasn't the case. You had guys that get roasted like Paul George, James Harden, and Kawhi Leonard playing harder than you.
Yeah.
Can't happen.
No, absolutely. And I don't understand either just why the NBA even had this be as a back-to-back. I'm thinking about it now. The Kings, before Monday, their previous game was Friday, and I understand the in-season tournament might have thrown off some of that scheduling, but like, why couldn't the Kings have played on Sunday and then had a Monday off and then played Tuesday? I don't know. It feels like there is a weird scheduling thing where I don't blame you or any other fans for not showing up on the second night of a back-to-back, because you're right. Not only the guys that I think you already said this, but the guys that are playing, you don't know what quality they're going to be at, because apparently guys just don't have any energy on the second night of a back-to-back, or it's just a 50-50 shot on whether or not they will. And then there's also the injury factor of, a team like the Phoenix Suns. What are the odds that if you go to the second night of a back-to-back, you're going to see that big three? Almost slim to none, because they're probably coming off an injury and don't want to play or something like that. And so, it's not only a problem for the teams themselves, like the Sacramento Kings, where I have their numbers here on the second night of back-to-backs this year. Granted, it's only been 3 games, but the Kings are averaging 103 points per game, shooting 42% from the field, 27% from 3.
So bad.
That is terrible. And their opponents are having no problem. 126 points, 53% from the field, 44% from 3. The Kings are a completely different team on the second night of those back-to-backs. And the NBA's got to figure out how to get rid of them, because the Kings are definitely on the furthest end of the scale when it comes to playing poorly on the second night of back-to-backs, but this is not a isolated incident for an NBA team. All teams deal with struggling on the second night of back-to-back, and I feel like the NBA needs to figure out how to get rid of this, because it's worsening the product. It's just as bad to me as load management, really.
Yeah, no, and look, to be fair, and if you do look at the Kings back-to-back opponents, the Pelicans, nothing to sneeze at, and then two against the Clippers, who the Clippers are. I feel like the Clippers had just started to figure it out before the first back-to-back against the Kings, and now they've won 8 of their last 11. Right. So they're rolling now. And oh, by the way, who is the next combo of the Kings back-to-back? Like we just talked about, it's the Suns and then the Timberwolves.
Right.
So it's not getting any easier. So I'll give them a little bit of slack there. And I guess the only way we can flip this is, okay, well, if you're going to lay eggs during the back-to-backs, you best not lose on the non-back-to-back.
Right.
So now
or the first night of the back-to-back, right?
Or the first night of the back-to-back. So they took care of business against the Nets. But now, to me, when you look at this stretch, this Thunder game, and I know it's an overused sports term, but you got to get this Thunder game to me. Because you do have the Jazz and the Wizards. Right. Then you go into it's not just a back-to-back. Right? That's Suns Timberwolves back-to-back. But on that Wednesday before the back-to-back, you got the Celtics.
Yeah. Who is an impossible matchup for the Kings. The Kings historically get killed by the Celtics these past 5 years. And so you want to talk about, looking at the schedule and counting that as an L, that's a game where I'd be shocked if the Kings win. I mean, I'll gladly take it, but I haven't seen the Kings be able to perform against the Celtics team. And so, I don't know how you can look at the schedule and not see how that as well is like oh man, the Kings have to play 3 tough. And, I know it would take forever to try and do this with every team, but you got to try and view that if you're the NBA and say and for everybody, not just the Kings, but if a team has a 3-game stretch of some tough opponents, you got to at least try and figure out how to squeeze days in between those games. Because if you care about the product, and I'm looking that Boston game at least is going to be on NBA TV, but in some cases you'll have those games on national TV, and it's like, how are you expecting to have a good product on those games?
I get that, but the NBA is probably thinking, hey, it's a tough stretch for the Kings, but then after that you get the Blazers, the Hawks, the Grizzlies, who probably will have Ja at that point, Hornets, Magic, Raptors,
can't wait till after
Pelicans, Pistons,
Christmas cannot
Hornets.
Come soon enough.
So there you go. And then they have another tough stretch at mid-January at Sixers, at Bucks, at Suns, and then what's after that, Chris? As we get to a break, January 18th, the homecoming. I'm coming home. Halliburton, he's coming home. Got to get to a break. You know what the NBA told him? It's a cold world. Grab a sweater. Stiles and Watkins. We're talking Draymond next. Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers have owned the NFC West this season, and they look to take out their division rival Arizona on Sunday.
It's an end around to Deebo Samuel coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers and Cardinals Sunday at 1 from Arizona on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call.
At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested and will greet you with a smile.
They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later.
They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys.
So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Lowe's knows how to save pros time and money. Right now, save over $40 on a Werner 6-foot stepladder. Was $115, now just $69.98. And there's more. Get up to 30% off select kitchen cabinet orders. Visit us in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 12/7 through 12/13 on item number 98148. While supplies last. Minimum purchase and exclusions apply. See associate for details.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Nate Littlefield providing us with some bops right there. Might go freestyle. Might have a little fun with Brendan Nunez a little later. No. That's all I'm gonna say. Yep. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, for the Kings roundtable, be sure to hang around for 12:45. Brendan and Frankie will be joining us, our Sactown Sports Kings insiders, and all guests and callers. Join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop, 916-339-1140. Before we get into Draymond, let's talk to TC, who wants to talk about the Kings and how embarrassing they were last night. What's up, TC? What you got for us? TC, we got you?
Yeah. You guys got me?
Yes. We got you.
All right, let's check it out, man. Hey, look, I just got a few things that I'm seeing as far as the team and Mike Brown. I'm not trying to tell Mike Brown how to coach, and I love Mike Brown. I love Doug, Shorty, Luke, and everybody. But check it out. When we're on these back-to-backs, the whole excuse about we got to find something else to do, and we shouldn't be getting blown out, but you have to open up the bench. That's what I was talking about last time, Chris and Alan, about Mike. Open up the bench. When we're on back-to-backs like that, I know it's cool and fine and dandy to rely on the starters and they should be ready, but open up the bench. That's what Kessler, that's what Kobe, that's what a lot of these guys on the bench are for. Open it up, Mike. When you see a back-to-back, give a different look. I was waiting for the guys to get a different look, not when the game is over and it's 2 minutes over. Mike, open up the bench early in the game. When you see, again, I love Fox. Fox, stop crying to the refs. Every time you cry to the refs, bro, we lose the game. I love you and everything, bro. It throws off everybody's momentum. When you see that, Mike, bring in Kobe. Say, well, you know what? We have to mix this up as a team. I know you don't want to ruffle feathers, but you got to open up the bench, bro, when we're on these back-to-backs. Seriously.
No, thanks for the call, TC. Yeah, I'm looking here at all the minutes, right? Trey Lyles, 20. Vezenkov, 20. Monk, 22. Obviously, we're not talking about Malik Monk. I guess.
Who is he supposed to go to?
Well, Kobe Jones is sick or injured.
I think, he might even just be in Stockton. I'm not sure.
So I'm looking here. You got Jordan Ford, who got mop-up duty.
Yeah.
Davion, who kind of didn't get mop-up duty.
No, I think Davion's might be back in the rotation. I seriously do. Like, it seemed to me, I think in the second half, and we can ask Brenden and Frankie about it. I'm sure they're paying a little bit more attention to those kind of things, but I think Davion got reinserted into the Keon minutes in that second half. So I think Mike Brown was to an extent kind of looking deep in his bench.
Did you like what you saw?
Not really,
it's
but
kind of unfair to ask that. He hasn't played, but
nobody's got to go in that game either. I definitely, when Davion checked in, I made note of it, but by the time he checked out, I was like,
I saw him really try to do more. I saw him try to drive and
I'm not,
do different things. No. I'm saying
no. Yeah. I think, and I think it's okay. I feel like they now might be the time to kind of give Davion another shot. I mean, we can't forget this team still was successful with Davion Mitchell last year. It's not like he's actually hindering the team at all. It's just you kind of want more, but I think we've seen enough from Keon Ellis to see. I don't think Keon's giving you that more that you're looking for. And so, it's not saying Keon's going to get benched again, but or that he deserves it. But I think you might want to go with the guy that at least you know that you can be successful with already, than maybe continuing to take chances on Keon, who, mind you, is still on a 2-way contract. And if the Kings are going to continue to play him, they're going to have to convert his 2-way into an actual contract. So I feel like Keon's kind of already gotten his little stretch of games in. I don't know how many it's been. I feel like it's been 10 to 15 games already that Keon's been in the rotation. I kind of feel like that experiment might be over at this point.
Yeah, and we're going to get into kind of the Klay Thompson conversation because Klay and Wiggins got benched yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Now, Klay and Andrew Wiggins being benched when they have been awful all season long, and they are finally just now getting benched. And the reason that they took so long is because of what they have done.
Yeah.
That is almost the complete opposite of De'Aaron Fox. The idea of, I don't even want to say benching De'Aaron Fox, because somebody's going to turn on the station right now and say, what in the world are these guys talking about? In reference to our caller TC saying, when guys don't got it going to fire up somebody else, that's kind of the opposite, because you have a guy who has had it going, and now you're going to go in a different direction because of that specific night. So who should get more of the benefit of the doubt? I feel like it has to be De'Aaron, but I think everything can happen. De'Aaron's not going to play the whole game. So instead of, okay, Keon, we know what he brings to the table, but Davion, let's not forget, what was it? It feels like a month ago when Davion did get inserted. The first time he got benched, I believe it was for Kobe Jones or somebody like that. And Davion came out firing all cylinders. I believe it was when De'Aaron Fox was injured.
Yeah.
So Davion has that ability. So maybe you do go, and he essentially did, but at that point the game was over. But besides that, looking at this bench, as much as we laud this roster as being deep, I'm going to trust that Mike Brown hasn't seen enough from Kessler Edwards in practice.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Like, what impact is Kessler Edwards supposed to make?
Everybody is getting a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
That could, besides Kessler Edwards, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know who else was supposed to play more. I mean, Sasha played 20 minutes last night. I know a lot of that was in the fourth quarter, but, nobody had it going either. It's not even a matter of going to, like, Malik Monk is the spark that you're looking for off the bench. He had a quiet night. He only finished with 8 points, which is, the first time that him and De'Aaron have been off together in the same game in a really long time. I mean, ideally, yes. In practice, the thought is always to go deeper into your bench on the second night of a back-to-back because you have tired legs in your starting unit or with your normal rotation. So normally, yeah, maybe you dig a little bit deeper into the bench than you would normally would, but I don't think that that's the end-all, be-all. That keeps you afloat in the middle of the game, but last night, nobody had it for the Kings. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. You honestly brought it to my attention. I didn't even notice how cold he's been. Kevin Huerter had another terrible night.
He's been floating under the radar because he got hot, but he has not been the same since that finger injury. And if you want to put it on Coach Mike Brown, I'm not putting it on the changes to be made. I'm putting it on Mike Brown not having his soldiers ready, and by the time it's halftime, that game is over.
Yeah, it was over.
So, David, what do you want, David? Help me. David, I'm sitting there like Kevin Hart. Help me. What do you want him to do? The game is a wrap.
I can help you keep a lead. I don't know if I can.
You just want me out here pulling
25-point.
That's on Mike Brown to not let not let the team just come out and lay an egg the way that they've laid an egg. So
I will say it also doesn't hurt, or it doesn't help that in the home game against the Clippers on the second night of a back-to-back, Mike Brown mentioned this. The Kings haven't had any time to actually properly prepare for the Clippers. Now, again, that's probably more of an excuse than a reason, but they playing a team on the second night of a back-to-back, you don't get that day off to kind of really, whether it be a practice or film, sending guys film, you don't get to properly say, hey, these are these guys' tendencies. Like, let's make sure we understand. You can't implement things.
Sure.
And so it's small things like that at least exactly.
They just don't,
when you're already fighting an uphill battle, like you don't have, like you're saying, you don't have the horses, you don't have the wings to match up with Paul George and Kawhi and James Harden, and they got Norm Powell, all those guys. You don't have the firepower to stand with them. You're going to need to get creative in order to keep up with them, and they haven't had time to get creative.
I don't know, man. And
again, that feels way more like an excuse than a reason.
And we can't keep adding teams to the bad matchup.
Absolutely
right.
not.
What do we add? Okay, we have teams that are bad matches that the Kings have beat, and I would say that's the Timberwolves, and they shot the lights out. Okay. I would say that's the Thunder, who they're about to see again. Thunder are younger, but they are also long. Okay. I'm just doing Western Conference. We know it's the Pelicans, and now we're going to add the Clippers.
The Lakers are a team that somehow the Kings have beaten.
Chris, only 8 teams get in the playoffs.
It's insane.
That's 5 teams that are quote-unquote bad matchups for the Kings. What are we talking about?
This is crazy. I'm looking at it right now. This is so weird. The Kings haven't lost to the top 4 seeds in the Western Conference, but they also have lost to the Clippers, who are the 7 seed. They've lost twice. They've lost to Houston, who's the 9 seed. They've lost to the Pelicans, who are the 10 seed, twice, and they've lost to Golden State twice, who's the 11 seed.
Maybe that's
so. How does that make any sense?
I don't know.
Exactly. What are we supposed to do with that information? So they can beat the best teams in the West right now, but they're really terrible matchups against some of the worst teams in the West, or playoff teams in the Western Conference. Well, that's not good if you're going to be a 3 seed having to go against one of those 6 seed, 7 seed, 8 seed teams. That doesn't bode well for you.
But,
it's another upset as well. We can't forget.
Yeah,
but Kings were the higher seed last year, too.
But we got to go. But the question is it even gameplay or whatever it is? It's the same offense, right? I think it is a little bit of effort last night, but ultimately you made shots against the Thunder the last time you play them. What happens if you don't make as many shots on Thursday?
Yeah, there's no diverting from the original game.
Right. And guess when they played the first time they played the Timberwolves, who ended up bringing it a little bit closer. The last time they played the Timberwolves, they shot the lights out. Guess what's going to happen the second time they play the Timberwolves?
Probably not.
Second night of a back-to-back. Second night of the back-to-back. Right. Gotta go. David, we see you. Tin, we see you. We'll get to you after the break. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth, and now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan
on your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
Okay, but what about the last of the Dodge Chargers and the Challengers?
This month, save up to $5,000 off MSRP and get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs and Challenger GTs with no payments for 90 days.
The savings and financing won't last long. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factor rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible First Responder Association only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,000 total net savings after 5,000 dealer discount. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Equals $1,389 per thousand borrowed. 10 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
Wanna see you with it, sure could treat you right. Give me just a minute of your time tonight. We both are here to have big fun, so let it rip.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. Taking you up to 2 p.m. Hey. Wait, Nate, is this what's his name? What is that?
Potentially. What? This is Big X.
You know what? Okay, so no, there's a Texas rapper.
That's him, yeah.
Okay, this is it. He just put out his album, right?
Yeah.
No, he's good, man.
This music video is so sick.
He is good. This is what I thought it was, but everybody samples these days. But he does a lot of these samples, and he's got that deep voice.
He samples. Actually, it's in the rotation today. He samples Miami Will Smith.
Yes, he's
sick.
He's good in these streets. Big Longhorns fan. So I ran into. I think I found him on TikTok or something, and now I'm all in. All in. Wow, Nate, look at you. I thought it was just going to be a lot of Juicy J and 3-6 Mafia. Because you're a big Juicy J guy. Big Juicy J guy. Huge. We see Emil in the back. Emil, are you going to the holiday party?
Oh, he can't hear you.
Emil, are you going to the holiday party?
I am. Yeah, I'm going.
Okay, I'll see you there. Just had to shout that out real quick.
How festive are we getting at this party?
I'm not changing. That's why I'm wearing green. I see what you're saying. I will not say. I will not say on these airwaves. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. as we talk Kings. Speaking of, I think people needed to get a little bit festive to get through that game last night because it was pretty darn brutal. 916-339-1140. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And our first text of the day. King's problem is from the 916. King's problem isn't with the backup point guard. We are small and can't match up with longer physical teams. Although Mitchell doesn't help that. It's not on. Yeah. It's not. Everybody goes to the. If you say the backup quarterback is the most popular player on the team, it's almost as if the backup point guard is the least popular player on the team. Everyone expects so much of them. And if you want to, how many people are paying premium? We've done this before with the Tyus Jones or somebody like that. He might be starting the way, I don't know what the heck is going on in Washington, but how many teams are able to pay for a premium backup point guard?
Nobody. I mean, especially when your stars are point guard. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Like that's a position that's going to play 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes on a given night. Why would you spend a ton of money on a guy who's you're really just trying to steal minutes, honestly. I mean, it's the same story with the Kings backup center. I would say the Kings' biggest needs in terms of I think their weakest bench points are probably backup center and backup point guard. But also, again, to that same point, like when your stars are going to play 35 and in playoff series, they're going to be playing 40 minutes a night, you really shouldn't be spending tons of assets just on trying to save 10 minutes of playtime. You should just try and live and hope it doesn't kill you to get 8 to 10 minutes out of Alex Lenz of the world, and Davion's are totally fine. And maybe even, you can steal some minutes with Colby Jones or Keon Ellis too.
Yeah. I'm just thinking here, and it reminds me of everybody saying, well, we need to fix this. And it's not completely the same. But when Brock Purdy goes down, and Jimmy Garoppolo had already went down. Well, and Trey Lance had went down too, and everyone's looking at Josh Johnson thinking, why didn't we prepare for this? What do you mean?
Who is supposed to prepare
Who
for
prepares for that fourth-string quarterback? I mean, let's be a little bit realistic here. 916-339-1140. Let's get out to David, who's been hanging on. What's up, David? You are on Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Hey, Bill. You guys are on point. Let me tell you, you guys are on point. No to Klay, absolutely. Guys,
right there with you.
He's edging out, you can tell he's probably got a year or two left of, he'll be a 15-point-a-game guy here pretty soon, maybe a bench guy to come in, but we don't need him. But our problems are just exactly what you just said. I mean, everybody's like, point guard. We need an athletic four is what we need, because this team lacks front court athleticism. I mean, Trey and everybody's good. But Monty's big mistake was thinking that he could run it back and was going to get the same results. And as much as I love HB and everybody does, great guy, and he's actually still a really good player. It's just he's not a good player on this team, at this time for whatever reason. And he's kind of been ISO'd out of the offense a little bit. And we just need somebody in that position that's taller, in my opinion. And the other thing is that it would be good also. I'm not disappointed in our backup fives. I think they're fine, but it'd also be good to get another wing back there that might be like a 6'9", 6'10" guy that's athletic. So 2 front court athletic guys that can create their own shot and, play some defense, but I'd rather have that 4. I don't even care if he's a stretch. I just want somebody that can stop guys from wheeling into the basket, grab some boards and block some shots, and they can at least take it to the rim at will. Cause that's the one thing that we lack. I mean, last night you could see we tried to shoot our way out of the problem, and when the shots weren't falling, they just kept going at it like they were hoping it would, and you can just see, like, this is a disaster. Like, who's going to take the ball to the rim consecutively, you know? And it also was oddly strange to me that as young as our team was, and even though those guys were on a back-to-back, how are a bunch of old veterans that, you know, that are in their somewhere in their mid-30s were running us into the ground? Like, that was just like, it looked to me like our guys had hangovers. But anyway, I'll talk to you later, guys. Thank you.
You know, no, thanks for the call, David. And we talked about that yesterday about why teams don't seem to shoot too well in Los Angeles. Is it the lights or is it
There's no way. The Kings didn't have enough time.
But they did not have enough time.
Come on.
They didn't even have enough time to get festive, if you will. I don't think that was it, unless I don't think they were celebrating beating the Nets or anything that. So that wasn't it, but it definitely looked like
franchise record in threes. That's what they were
well, maybe
you know?
it did look like they were a little sluggish. And even just from the beginning of the game, I think that's the most frustrating thing, that just from Jump Street, you can tell, and you want to believe that they're going to power through as they did against the Warriors. They've done it a couple different times. But for the most part, and we'll have Frankie Cardicelli, who we're going to have during the Kings roundtable. He had a crazy stat as far as the Kings wins and losses for point differentials. I will let Frankie dive into that, because basically the Kings in their losses, they're getting beat down.
Yeah.
They're getting smacked.
I think you said it, actually. You actually clocked it super early in the season. You were like, thank you, Kings, for at least letting us know early if we can make dinner or something like that.
Yeah.
And they've stuck true to that for sure. I mean, you're right. With the exception of that Golden State game where they came back in the in-season tournament, I can't think of another game in which it's flipped. And that's what's so frustrating to that caller's point. It's been really frustrating for me to watch this team try and shoot themselves out of these slumps. I feel like every coach would tell you, if the shots aren't falling, get to the rim. You have to break the slump. And it's almost impossible when you've missed 5 or 6 threes in a row for the next one to go in. You just have no momentum. And it's a cliche, but sometimes you just got to see the ball go through the rim. And the Kings just, for whatever reason, they feel and trust that they can shoot themselves out of it. They always feel like the next shot is the shot that's going to turn things around. And you know, that's, again, where the ball can be put into Mike Brown's court. And you could say, dude, you got to have a counter. You got to have an adjustment. There's no way you can truly just live and die with the three-point shot, because, we've seen you've been able to live with it. That's but when you're dying, you're getting absolutely carved up, murdered, chopped into pieces. Okay? You can't, and you just can't have that. Dexter style. Yes, absolutely. It's bad. And you can't have that. You've got to be able to have a secondary thing to go to. And I don't know if Mike Brown doesn't think that maybe it is the personnel. The caller's right. The Kings, really, with the exception of De'Aaron, Malik, and Sabonis, don't really have anyone who gets to the rim consistently. And maybe you do need to kind of look for that if you are going to bring in somebody else, somebody who gets to the rim a lot. Because, frankly, that was Harrison Barnes' role. He was that guy who, you know, again, shots aren't falling. You just need a bucket to break the slump. Harrison would drive the lane and get a foul and get to the free throw line. And we haven't seen that from anybody this year.
I have a trade.
Okay.
But you got to wait until 12:45.
Okay.
Because I want Frankie and Brenden to see this. Because, you know, we talk about fresh starts and things like that. You're so right.
I know where you're going with that.
You're so right. But you know I love my food comparisons. What the Kings are right now is one day it will be gourmet food, and the next day it will be just the nastiest thing you've ever tasted.
Yeah.
And at some point we have to figure out what the Kings are. Are you a gourmet chef? You don't have to be. You can be a pretty good chef. Right? I think we take a pretty good chef every single day than a chef one day who is Gordon Ramsay, and the next day is somebody that's on Worst Cooks in America. Because that's what the Kings are. The point differentials, which we will get into at 12:45, they tell the story all themselves. And Mike Brown, we haven't done blame pie in a while, but Mike Brown has to take some of this blame pie because you got to be ready to play. But it also, obviously, the players are on the court. It's all of them. It's a problem.
Absolutely.
It's a problem. And again, if you're just going to sell every back-to-back, well, then you better not lose some of these games that you have coming up because you can't afford to. And the next back-to-back, you got a team that not only are they long and you shot the lights out, which really helped propel you to victory, you gave them their first loss at home in the Timberwolves.
And they're more healthy now. They have a guy who really
got a guy.
Your kryptonite. I mean, well, they didn't have Jaden McDaniels last time, and he's a dude who, if I would put him like first team All-NBA, second team All-NBA defensively. He's that level of defender, and he's a 6'8", 6 to 6'9", long rangy wing who's gonna give the Kings absolute fits. I can already see it.
We'll power through.
Yeah,
we will power through, and we will be back. And when we get back, it's been long enough. It's Draymond time. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call, then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changers, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Well, hello there. It's Santa Claus, and I'm checking my list to see who's been naughty or nice.
Oh, hey, Santa. About that list, I've been a little bit naughty this year.
Oh, my. Naughty boys get a lump of coal in their stocking, you know.
Yeah, lump of coal. But guess what, Santa? Elk Grove Kia came to the rescue.
Elk Grove Kia? What do they have to do with your naughty deeds?
Well, Santa, they gave me a great deal on a new Kia, the highest-rated mass-market vehicle in J.D. Power's U.S. dependability study.
What?
No lump of coal for me this year, old man.
A Kia, you say?
Yeah,
Well, what about your challenged credit?
Well, Santa, unlike you, Elk Grove Kia doesn't judge guys like me. They looked beyond my troubled past and still sold me a fine new Kia. Look.
Well, I never...
Sorry, Santa, but Elk Grove Kia has your sled beat this year. So while you're busy with the lumps of coal, I'll be cruising in style in my new Kia.
Okay, I suppose Elk Grove Kia is on the nice list this year.
Naughty or nice, Elk Grove Kia believes everyone deserves a second chance. Elk Grove Kia, spreading joy, one car at a time, in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or elkgrovekia.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
A couple of weeks ago, I had the honor to enjoy a conversation with PGA Tour player and U.S. Open winner Jim Furyk, who's also the first to shoot 58 in a PGA Tour event. We talked about junior golf, his experiences on tour, and plans for the future. He also revealed his commitment to a new golf shoe manufactured by Boxto Golf. I took notice because when a person makes his living playing golf, he looks for advantages in preparation, equipment, and certainly his shoes, which are the only contact with the ground. Boxto is a premium brand specializing in handcrafted leather golf shoes designed for players who demand quality, style, and performance. With full-grain leather upper and soft leather linings, the shoes offer unmatched comfort. They're a perfect blend of classic style and modern design. If Boxto Legacy golf shoes and belts are good enough for Jim Furyk, they're good enough for me. Learn more at boxtogolf.com. That's your golf to go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Amazon will be delivering packages to your house. Let Amazon deliver customers to your business. If that sounds good and you want more in 2024, simply text digital to 916-766-5105.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com. Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports' IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com and sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's film at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Keep it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. Taking you up to 2 p.m. with DJ Littlefield, DJ Nate. With the bangers today. Thank you to Nate, taking us up to 2 p.m. as we talk Kings. And I know I said we weren't going to be negative. We're going to start flipping this thing around. We're an hour into the show. So now we're going to deflect. Okay. And it is time to talk about Draymond Green. And Draymond Green, who has found himself in the news yet again. And it's been quite the year for Draymond Green. It's been quite the year for the Warriors. I know Kings fans can kind of bask in this because Draymond has had his own issues with the Kings as well as plenty of other teams, right? So, Chris, we were both watching the Kings game, but it was a little bit staggered. So Kings were at halftime. Right. I click over to the Warriors and I see this. I'm thinking, what the heck is going on?
Did you catch the actual incident or just like immediate aftermath?
I don't think I caught it. I think I did catch it live.
Really?
I think I caught it live. And I immediately put it on Twitter because I had to. And I said, Kings game is at halftime. What's going on in the Warriors game? I said, what's going on in the Warriors game? And it's just Draymond with a tornado slap to Nurkic, and Nurkic is roasting. What are your initial thoughts? How much time do you think he should get?
Oh my gosh, sounds like a prison sentence.
Yeah. Is he going to the pen or
geez,
local jail?
My initial thoughts were, this guy he's just lost it, man. Like, it is kind of like Jusuf Nurkic said. He's just like, dude, like, I kind of am like, what's going, like, personally, like, as a person, are you good? Because this is getting out of control. And like, the problem is, and I don't feel like I hear enough people talking about this, Draymond Green is a grown man. Like, he's not 23, 24. Not that he got okay kids. When that exactly. The man has children. He should not be acting like a child.
He's 33. He's my age.
Like, how? I don't understand. Like, it's unfortunate, but it is more acceptable when you're younger. You're a hothead. You think the world is yours, whatever. As you get older, as tons of people in the chat keep calling him Graymon, okay? He's got gray in his beard now. You're supposed to be an adult, act like one. It seems like truly it's gotten worse somehow. Like, how is he somehow become more childish with age? It's got to be infuriating because, again, we were having similar discussions of, what's the difference between Draymond Green and DeMarcus Cousins when DeMarcus Cousins was here? So Draymond's been acting like this
for a very long time.
Since Jump Street, and he's still acting like it. And again, maybe even worse than ever now. I don't know. If you're a Warrior fan, the dude definitely brought you 4 titles, 100%. He is a key cog in every single one of those championships. But, I don't understand how you can't just be done with him at this point. I don't understand with 2 years, this dude has had 4 incidents already. Between the punching your teammate, between stomping on a dude in the playoffs, between choking somebody, and now that's 4 things. Those are 4 major things, not to mention the Donovan Mitchell tackle and other, there was a Pelicans game last year where he kicked somebody in the face and, it was an accident. And as these It's amazing how people's heads and groins and stomachs keep finding Draymond's foot and hand.
It's just bad luck.
It's really bad luck for him. It's inexcusable, and I don't know how if you're a Warrior fan, if you're truly a basketball fan, not just a Warrior fan, I don't understand because I can understand fanatics. I get people who are just tunnel vision and are like, hey, he helps us, whatever. But at this point, I would argue he's definitely hurting you. And I think Steve Kerr said the same thing yesterday, but I don't understand how you could possibly back this guy anymore because it's not even funny anymore. Like, you could argue there's, especially with how social media is these days, we laugh at Michael Jordan crying at his Hall of Fame speech and crying again at Kobe's funeral. Like, of course, the worst moments are always going to be funny to a certain section of the internet, but it's getting to the point where it's just everybody, I think, is like, this isn't funny. This is just sad. And something needs to be done because this guy's clearly not getting it. It's crazy to say. And I saw it from the direct source himself. Antonio Brown even tweeted out the other day, Draymond Green is the NBA Antonio Brown.
That's bad.
It's terrible. You cannot get a worse cosign than that.
No, that is a cosign that you don't want to see.
So much to break down in that. Like, which is worse? I don't know. That's just crazy to say. that is
Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Here you go. And this is from Tim Kawakami of The Athletic, legend in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Draymond has played in 15 games this season.
Mm-hmm.
He has been ejected in 3 of them.
Okay.
And he's been suspended for 5 games as well. And he's going to get suspended again. We talked a little bit about it with Jason Ross in the crossover. If you got 5 for the choke, even though I don't think this was as egregious as the choke, are we 2 weeks removed from that? Barely?
I think barely.
Right?
Might
the
even
Warriors,
be to the
that
day.
was right. That was 2 weeks. That was 2 weeks ago, that game. So you just got back. Now you do a wild slap like you are my 7-month-old daughter who can't control their limbs yet. And it doesn't really matter if it was intentional or not.
No.
You can't do that, right? You Draymond can't do that. Other players maybe could and get away with it and get the benefit of the doubt. You're not going to get the benefit of the doubt, and you don't deserve the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely not.
Because you put yourself in this situation.
Yep.
Okay? And yeah, he sat there. We're going to hear from him. We got the sound right here. Yeah, he sat there and took responsibility, as a lot of people say that he hasn't taken responsibility, but it doesn't really matter, right? And it's to the point now, and I was looking here, Chris, a lot of people had things to say about Draymond's podcast. Draymond has not dropped an episode since July 14th. So I don't know if that's connected or anything, but I think this was supposed to be the year where, hey, Draymond, you get your act together. And I don't know if you saw this. It was circling around, and honestly, I think it might have been before the Draymond slap, but for the drama, I'm going to say I'm not sure because you have Steph Curry on the court, and he says something to KD. And if it was, I don't think it was. I really don't. But I'm going to do it anyway. He whispered something to KD, and everybody said, well, what do you think Steph was whispering? Draymond back on that stuff again.
Yep.
Draymond is back on that stuff. There's Kevin Durant. There's the championship.
Kevin Durant probably was like, told you.
I told y'all. There's the championship in 2016. There's Kevin Durant, and they better be thanking their lucky stars that Jordan Poole looks terrible. They really should. If Jordan Poole was looking like an all-star right now, it would be even worse.
Yeah, they'd be getting a taste of what Kings fans are going through with the Halliburton stuff.
Nate, should we get to the sound now or on the other side? We'll get to the sound on the other side and hear from Draymond Green and also Nurkic, who had some really
all
fun.
time.
I don't think it was unintentionally funny, but it was great. We will hear from Draymond and Jusuf Nurkic when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers have owned the NFC West this season, and they look to take out their division rival Arizona on Sunday.
It's an end around to Deebo Samuel coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers and Cardinals, Sunday at 1 from Arizona on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable.
This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Talking Kings and excuses. Well, we don't have to say what they're all like, but we know how that term goes. We're also talking Draymond Green. And Draymond, what will the suspension look like as there is yet another Draymond Green incident? 916-339-1140. From 10 on the text line, 916. What is more tough? Basketball teams playing back-to-back nights or football teams getting ready on a short week? That's actually a really good question.
Fantastic question, Tin. That's great. I would probably say basketball teams playing on the back-to-back because you have the combined factor of you have the fatigue disadvantage and you have the strategical disadvantage as well. Like, again, Mike Brown didn't have a full day to implement, maybe some new looks or some scouting really and give the proper information to his team. At least football teams on a shorter week. If you play Sunday and know you have a game on Thursday, you probably won't take off that Monday and you'll still have 3 days of practice. So though it's not what you would normally have, it's probably like a day and a half less than what you would normally have. You still have some time to get some work in. So I would probably say back-to-backs.
I think
it's a good question. It's a really good question.
The answer has to be back-to-backs because you play on. So what is it? You played on a Sunday,
right,
and now you have the Thursday game.
Because I don't think they do Monday to Thursday. I think the NFL is at least smart enough to know let's not give people 2 days.
Right, and I think that the teams probably can make up for it. Okay, we have a different schedule, right, and our practice or walkthrough is,
and
it's
so far in advance as well.
Exactly, right? But basketball. It's just you just have literally zero time. There's less rest in a more physical sport versus no rest in basketball is nowhere near as physical as
still is though,
but it's demanding in a different way. Right. So I got and you're going up. Yeah, it has to be back-to-backs, but that's a really, really tough question.
Yeah,
it's a good question, but I would have to go with basketball.
They both lend itself to terrible games, though. I will say, I would say the decrease in quality is probably equal though, because on Thursday night, more times than not, even if it's a good team, you'll get terrible performances where it's like Thursday nights are notorious 17-10 and games like that. So either way, I think the lesson from all sports is give these freaking athletes proper rest.
No,
just do it. No. Like we're all here to see the best in the world play like the best. Allow them to be at that level. At the end of the day, this is entertainment. I know, obviously, it's also competition, but the entertainment factor is what sells and keeps the league moving. So let's try and not forget that. And let's try and keep the entertainment quality as high as possible.
Yeah. But is it more important as entertainment or it's still a business, Chris Watkins?
Sure.
It's still a business.
It definitely is. Well, the business element is the fact that they won't cut the games to 72 because that alleviates all of this. There's no need to have back-to-backs if you're fitting the same amount of the 10 less games in the same time period. Then you can pretty much just eliminate all of the back-to-backs. And yeah, I mean, there's an easy fix, but yeah, to your point, the business side of the NBA won't allow it to thrive as an entertainment product. Or I guess it already is thriving, but not allowing it to be at its ultimate peak, I guess.
Exactly. All right, let's hear from Draymond, who
we have to.
We do have to. He had some things to say about what happened and his apology, if you will. Here's Draymond.
I mean, as I've said before, any replay, if I go look at every replay of everything, a replay it's never going to look good, but like I said, I know my intentions. My intentions were to sell the call. And I also don't think I'm an accurate enough puncher to do a full 360 and connect with someone. So unfortunately, I hit him. So I do apologize to him, and I didn't intend to hit him. So I think you guys have known me long enough. If I intended to do something, I'm not apologizing for it. But I did make contact with him, so I apologize because it wasn't my intention with him. And it was, again, I'm swinging away. Like, he's holding my hip. I don't know if any of y'all ever played against Nurkic, but he's strong as shit.
Well, there you have it.
There you go.
There is Draymond, who had some things to say. And, of course, he always has to end it with, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, of course.
You don't play.
Yeah, you don't play, right?
And
I do, of course.
Right, and I do, and that's how he kind of finds his way, out of things. And
kind of got himself into, I think you pointed at it earlier, but if you're saying you only apologize for things you don't intend to do, so then are you saying when you didn't apologize for stomping on Sabonis that was in fact intentional?
Because he didn't apologize.
Kind of told on yourself a little bit.
And
there,
he also
buddy.
didn't apologize to Mr. Gobert.
Right. He did not. He actually was adamant that I'm not going to apologize.
And going to the Sac chat, you have Beamer, Beams, or Beamley. Always my favorite name in the Sac chat. Well, he's right about that. We don't play in the NBA. We don't understand.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Any NBA players in here? So what does that mean, Beamer? Does that mean that, oh, well, I don't know. I guess I'm not in the situation, so.
You can't put yourself in that situation?
Well, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Right? I've never played in the NBA, so maybe Draymond had to step on. Maybe he had to step on Sabonis. What does that mean? What are we supposed to do with that? We're supposed to give Draymond a break because we didn't play in the NBA?
I don't get it. I don't even understand what he was trying to say with the I was just trying to sell the call. What was your how So was doing a 360 and throwing how is that selling the call? You could fall forward. There's just it's the story always with Draymond when he's like, oh, that's just the natural way that I shoot is my leg kicks up in the, it's like, well, how is that a natural flare? I've seen people flare before. They don't turn around. They don't do a 180. You just look, I'm flaring right now. I'm throwing my hands in the air. That's getting your attention, isn't it? I don't think you had to turn around and swing on the dude. Like you said, like a child who doesn't have control of their limbs, just waving around. What are you talking about? Does he think we're all dumb? Because that's what it seems like. It does feel like Draymond thinks he's just smarter than everybody else and he can talk his way out of it.
And here you go. To Beamer in the Sac chat. This is Nurkic himself. Now, last time I checked, Nurkic plays in the NBA. So if it's about not understanding that because we didn't play, why are there other NBA players? Isaiah Thomas. I roast Isaiah Thomas for trying to get back in the NBA, but he played. Isaiah Thomas, what did he say? Dang, Draymond, what are you doing? So they're NBA players saying Draymond is in the wrong. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what I say or what Chris says or what anybody says who never played in the NBA. The NBA players are saying that he's tripping. Let's hear from Nurkic.
What's going on with him? I don't know. Personally, I feel like that brother needed help. I'm glad he not try to choke me, but at the same time, it nothing to do with basketball, man. I'm just out there trying to play basketball, they're swinging. I think we saw that often, but hope he, whatever he got in his life, get better.
That brother needs help.
Yeah, that brother needs help is an all-timer. That is incredible. And I'm at least glad that we're not hearing the Sabonis narrative of, well, Nurkic was pulling on his jersey.
Yeah.
He was pulling on his jersey, so he started it. He technically started it. So, of course, what Draymond did was wrong, but no one's talking about what Nurkic. Glad that we're not hearing that. But I mean, yeah, Nurkic, shout out him for
That brother needed help.
Yeah, that brother needed help, and he did about as well as you could have in that situation because he really could have buried him. He could have buried Draymond in that. He could have been like, "This is unacceptable. This is ridiculous. I can't believe." Yeah, and Rudy threw shots at it, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I personally love the taking the high road, but in a petty way, and that to me was what Nurkic did, and
that brother needed help.
That's the best way of doing it right there. It's just like, hey man, I'm actually fine. Like I don't have a black eye or nothing. I'm actually concerned about him, okay? Because clearly he's the one who's actually hurt and needs help. Hurt people is what Nurkic is saying.
That is what he's saying, and I just can't get over. And I know I brought it up the last time there was the Draymond situation, or this most recent Draymond situation, where Draymond and the Amazon, I believe it was Amazon Prime, where he goes through and he is on a search to find like the chi in his life. You gotta look up the picture. Yes, it was a Amazon Prime,
like an actual
special.
What?
Yes, it was an Amazon. I think it was Amazon show,
and they made like a docu-series about Draymond trying to find inner peace.
Look at this. I'm going to show you. And if you're driving, just know the way Chris is about to react to this.
That brother needed help.
Is he's trying to get help. Look at this. He's in a position. He's meditating. He's meditating the sessions with Draymond Green, and he's meditating, trying to find his peace. And we're not making a joke out of this, but it is a little bit ridiculous. It's a little bit ridiculous to almost as if Draymond is trolling.
It's almost like John Morant doing the Jalen Rose interview, where it's like,
right.
Wait, what is this? What is the point of this? This is somehow supposed to make things better, is because I'm supposed to, you're telling me, well, yeah. I mean, clearly John and Draymond different things, but at the same time, it's a very similar conversation of, you got to start acting different. Like, it's one thing to, Draymond's not even talking. Draymond's not even talking.
It's not hard though. Okay. I'm just thinking of all the different situations, and the problem is Draymond just continues to find himself. So Nurkic grabs his hips, and Draymond is trying to sell the call, as he says,
which is a flop, by the way.
Which is a flop. So what if he got a fine?
He's going to get a fine for it. He just admitted
Instead of swinging to his left the way he did, why wouldn't you just throw your hands outwards?
That's what I'm saying.
Right? Or jump, or hey, he's holding on to me. It's just the
Draymond's a loud dude. He can scream.
Right. The decisions that he makes just don't seem to make any sense.
Never do.
And he keeps finding himself in different situations and bad situations.
What do you think about the fact that he's about the cell itself? Like, what? Because he's adamant that this was not intentional, and I'm not an MMA fighter, so how am I supposed to know exactly where I'm going to land? My thing is, the dude is pulling on you, on your back, and so you clearly know someone is right behind you. If Nate you know how people always do the tap on the wrong shoulder, and you look over the wrong shoulder, and it's like, got me. Well, what if somebody taps me on the back of my shoulder, and I just blindly turn around and smack them in the face, and I'm like, dang, sorry.
Yeah, what else are you supposed to do?
I had no idea you were there.
What else are you supposed to do?
I can't. I don't have eyes in the back of my head. How am I supposed to know where you are? Well, because somebody just tapped on you, and spatial awareness tells you that if they can touch you, you can probably touch them as well.
It's bad. The more I think about this,
I don't understand.
The more I think about this, the more I think we might be looking at double digits.
It's
because you're swinging up, right? Nurkic is taller than him. Where did you think you were going to hit if you know he's behind you? So I can't see this being any less than 7.
And also, Nurkic is a 7-footer.
Yeah.
If you make contact with his head, that means you were swinging for the head.
Yeah.
If you were swinging like you were swinging at a normal person, you're going to hit him in the rib, maybe in the chest. You hit him smack dab in the back of the head. Like, it was a perfect MMA shot. He hit him right in the temple. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. I don't know if his intention was, I'm going to fully hit this dude with the club of my hand, but he was trying to make contact with Nurkic, no doubt about it. There's no way.
Which is also bizarre, because how often Draymond's been in the league long enough to know that normally the secondary person is the one that gets the foul.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was just a bit bizarre, and ultimately just unnecessary.
Yeah. And I don't think
you guys got enough problems that we're going to talk about Draymond, because the trade machine is out. And I think, I don't know about your value at this point, Draymond, but we got more to talk about, because It's a mess, and you are not helping. At this point, Draymond Green, I would say, is hurting more than he is helping. Again, he has played in 15 games. He's been ejected in 3 of them, and he's already been suspended for 5, with more on the way. Got to get to a break. When we get back, let's hear from Shams and what's going on with Klay Thompson. We're also going to talk about Shohei Ohtani and how he managed to evade the taxes of California. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth, and now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan
on your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Lowe's knows how to save pros time and money. Right now, save over $40 on a Werner 6-foot stepladder. Was $115, now just $69.98. And there's more. Get up to 30% off select kitchen cabinet orders. Visit us in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 12/7 to 12/13 on item number 98148. While supplies last. Minimum purchase and exclusions apply. See associate for details.
At Jim Boy's Tacos, you get a ho lot of flavor for under $10. Our classic #2 combo meal spreads cheer with a farm-dusted ground beef taco, scratch-made bean and cheese burrito, and a soft drink. So jingle on down to Jim Boy's or order online at participating locations.
Staples and HP want you to have a happy Holla deal. That's right, Holla deal. Now during Staples Holla deals, you can save up to $115 on the HP Smart Tank 6001 all-in-one printer with up to 2 years of original HP ink right in the box. Plus, find savings of up to 40% on select HP computers and monitors. Happy Holla deals from Staples and HP, America's most trusted printer brand. Smart Tank offer ends 12/23. HP Tech offers end 1/6/24. Visit staples.com/HP for details.
Hey, it's Carmichael Day for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. Stockton Honda.
PM being asked on the Sac chat to get into something. You know, first of all, it was an away game, no? It was in Chicago, I believe.
Yes, it was in Chicago. Yeah.
So there was more than one ejection last night. Nikola Jokic was ejected on, I believe it was Serbian Heritage Night. Now, it was an away game. Not that that makes it any better, but it was an away game. So I guess it was.
Well, I think I saw on social.
Or was it throughout the NBA?
No, it was just Serbian Heritage Night in Chicago. I guess there's a very large Serbian community in Chicago, and Nikola Jokic is definitely the best Serbian at the moment. Probably I can actually confidently say the best Serbian of all time. I was trying to think, here when we think Serbia, we think Peja.
Yeah.
And so it's a little tough, but of course 2 MVPs and a title speak for itself. So I think I can give Jokic that title. So to kick him out on Serbian Heritage Night on the road is actually kind of even worse than kicking him out at home, because at least if it's at home in Denver, you can say, you can see him on Friday. In Chicago, that's the only time he's going to be here all year long.
Yeah.
And so, it's,
they planned it. They planned that. They planned that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. They planned, to your point, they planned to have Serbian Heritage Night on the day that the best Serbian of all time is in town. And it was also a very stupid tech. It was maybe tech worthy, but it was not ejection worthy. And it was just it was an average night for Luka Doncic, but for some reason, when Nikola Jokic did it, they found it incredibly offensive and threw him out of the game at halftime.
Yeah, there is definitely an issue with the level, and it's almost as if you get blamed for it. It reminds me of school, to be completely honest with you. You had the class clown who everybody knows they're the class clown, and that teacher thinks of that student differently because they're always doing stuff. But then if somebody else kind of speaks out or does something who doesn't always do it, that teacher might treat that person differently because they're not used to it, right? And because this other kid, whether it's Dylan Brooks or a Draymond Green, is used to or is so bad, their kind of bad stuff doesn't look as bad as somebody who never does anything and is, hey, well, the rules are a little bit different because this kid's always bad, when it shouldn't even be like that. And I'm looking here.
It shouldn't even be because of Serbian Heritage Night either.
No, it's bad either way.
Two-time MVP and the defending champ. Let the dude play. When was the last time Steph Curry was tossed out of a game?
Well, but
I just mean don't toss out stars in general.
Don't toss out stars in general. And Jokic barely says anything. He gets asked about it in the post-game presser, and he looks like the Joker. I mean, you can tell it was Serbian Heritage Night because this dude is dressed up. He's got the gray jacket with the black with the black turtleneck. He was ready to be there for his people and had to hit the showers early because some ref was in a bad mood and something needs to be done. I don't know what. My question is, when things like this happen, we're sitting here talking about it being Serbian Heritage Night. Are the refs briefed on this stuff? Is this on Adam Silver to say, hey guys, be sure, we do a rundown.
Is that in a way
I don't know. It's
a weird
dicey
thing where people, I think
dicey.
I think 95% of people would probably be okay with that kind of collusion,
just talked about, because you just talked about before the break.
Entertainment, right?
It's entertainment.
Yep.
So unless it is, hey, this is a foul that's going to lose the game.
Right.
Hey guys, I don't need to say it, but it's Serbian Heritage Night. Right. And Jokic is the best Serbian of all time.
In Chicago too. Chicago's
do with that
market.
what you will.
Yep.
Do with that what you will. He's traveling out here. I was getting on King saying, I was getting on the King saying, hey, these people spend their hard-earned money to come see you back to back. Same can be said for when you're traveling East Coast. All right. It could even be, if you don't want to make it as specific, hey guys, when our stars are traveling to places, we're already getting on them for load managing. Okay.
Exactly.
So when our stars are playing in markets that they don't get to go to, I don't need to draw it out for you or spell it out for you.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone gets their money's worth.
Yeah.
And this last night, you have a Serbian kid or a Serbian fan saying, I don't get, that was their whole day.
Yep.
How many people look forward to Tuesdays? I hate Tuesdays. It's the worst day of the week.
Favorite day.
Some kid has been looking forward to that Tuesday. Some Serbian kid or just a Nuggets fan in general has been looking forward to that Tuesday in Chicago for months.
Right. Or we've got somebody in our chat, Emmy. Emmy's a massive Sasha Vezenkov fan, maybe the biggest there's ever been. If Emmy were to fly over to Sacramento or whatever, we'll say not even that. We'll say she goes to, I don't know, she lives in Southern California, so she goes
to Chicago.
Yeah,
and the Kings are playing the Bulls.
There you go.
And it's Bulgarian Heritage Night.
Yep.
Okay, and all she wanted to do is see Sasha Vezenkov.
Yep.
And some ref tosses him because that ref had a bad day.
Yep.
And it wasn't, I think what the toughest part about explaining this is that there's so many places where they're wrong, the refs. They're wrong because of that situation, and they're wrong because it wasn't a situation where he should have been ejected.
Right.
Just wrong. How are you that wrong?
Did you see also sorry to just slightly side, but did you see the Tim Hardaway Jr. technical from yesterday as well? He got one for hanging on the rim, and it was just I don't know what's going on with refs in general. I don't know if there's, heightened and escalated beef between players and referees going on right now. I don't know what it is, but
social media too.
Social media definitely plays a factor into it, but it just feels like referees and players have never they've never seen eye to eye. Of course, they're natural enemies, but it feels like there's been a contentiousness between refs and players that's just been building in these past couple of years, and I don't really know what's led to it. Maybe it's the fact that these guys are such big stars now that they do feel like, what are these guys who are trying to, get their shine off of me? I like the Chris Paul, Scott Foster thing has been really weird. There's tons of people who have been complaining about the review, the official reviews and all those things. I don't know. It just feels like that relationship is getting worse and worse, and there's less and less understanding of how each side views the game that they're both watching.
It seems like something that's very fixable.
Yeah.
Right.
Brother need the help.
You find someone for not doing their job correctly as a player.
Yep.
If a ref or somebody like that,
great point.
Hey man, we reviewed this, shouldn't have been a tech. Take it out of their paycheck. Yeah. I guarantee you they'll stop being.
They're terrified.
They'll stop being
Leagues
as soft
terrified.
if you hit it where it hurts. 916-339-1140. Speaking of Bulgaria and Serbia, Emmy is on the line.
She must have
What's
heard.
up, Emmy? What you got for us?
Hey, can you please put me on the line about this topic with Draymond? And
You're on.
I've been trying to call for about 10 minutes.
You're on. It's me. You are on the air.
Hey, Chris. Hey, guys.
Hello. What you got for us?
So, first of all, I want to say Draymond deserves way more than 5 games. Second of all, I'm in the Bay Area. I don't fly anywhere. And another thing is, Sasha is not as aggressive as Draymond. He's not going to get ejected.
That's a good point.
And there are as many Bulgarians as Serbians in Chicago.
Wow.
Got it.
If you have any questions, for real. I think waiting to see on the NBA today what Draymond will get, but he needs a serious suspension.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, Emmy.
Appreciate it, Emmy.
And Emmy joins us
That
on
brother need the help.
the Folsom Lake Honda hotline, as do all guests and callers. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Yeah.
And if you want to have any more conversations or any more information, Emmy is a P1 in the SAC chat, so she will have plenty to talk to you about as far as Bulgaria and Serbia as well. Got to get to a break. When we get back, is it over for the Warriors? Sham says it could be. Klay Thompson turning down some money. Should he have done that? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for the Chryslers Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
And what about those brand new Dodge Hornets everyone's talking about?
This month, you can lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT plug-in hybrid for only $199 a month for 27 months. That's over $5,500 in total savings.
Now's the best time to get the vehicle you need at Hoblet. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factory rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699,991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must purchase qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible first responder association only. No payment for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,500 total net savings after 2,000 factory rebates and 3,500 dealer discount. 27-month lease with 3,995 due at signing plus tax and license fees on approved credit through Ally Financial. 7,500 max miles per year, 25 cents per mile for excess miles. 20 of each net savings.
Wendy's Peppermint Frosty and Frosty Cream Cold Brew make the perfect gift for anyone in your life, especially for you. Yeah, this year you're sitting on your own lap and getting yourself what you want. Finally. And if you need a little more pep in your step, get yourself a refreshing Peppermint Frosty Cream Cold Brew. Or you can give it to your mom. Whatever.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
The holiday season is right around the corner, so give the gift that's hard to wrap but easy to give. Give them a Stihl. With powerful trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to place under the tree, the Stihl Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Save $30 on the GTA 26 battery-powered garden pruner. Visit your local Stihl dealer or go to stihlusa.com/gift guide. Real Stihl. Find yours. Now $149.99 was $179.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
I'm Dr. Stork. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Ejections, benching, not showing up. That's the Kings.
Yep.
As the Kings lose to the Clippers, 119-99. Not a good showing from the Kings. We will begin to really break down our Kings talk here. At 12 o'clock, we have our Kings Roundtable with Frankie Cardicelli and Brenden Nunes at 12:45, where we will really get into it. And I got the trade machine, and we are going to take your calls as we did last week. It was a lot of fun. We will do that again. Your texts as well, 916-339-1140. And a name that might come up, I know a lot of people, he has been called by the Sack Chat, amid Rock in the Sack Chat, a dried up Splash Brother. That is just messed up. But Klay Thompson, things are starting to break as Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins were benched to close the game last night. And that actually wasn't the first time. So I say to you, Kings fans, I say to you, Beam Regime, would you kick the tires on Klay Thompson? Now, here is Shams talking about what happened over the summer.
That is the thing, the state of the team right now. I don't, what is the prediction? What's happening?
They've lost 4 of their last 6. They've lost 6 of their last 10 and 9 of their last 13. And last night, Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, Kevon Looney, all were benched. Wiggins is averaging career lows across the board. And last night he was benched for Jonathan Kuminga. And that's something that I would not be surprised if we see moving forward. And Klay Thompson, 2 of 10 last night, 1 of 8 from 3. I think we all believe he deserves an opportunity to see this through. and he should have limitless, opportunity to try to figure it out, get out of this rut. But his future has been in question. We talked about on the eve of the season, they're not close on a contract extension when they were discussing one before the start of the season. I'm told that the Warriors offered a deal, 2 years in the range of $48 million in an extension to Klay Thompson before the season. And now there's no deal. We're into the season. He's going to play it out. They're going to play it out. And we saw last night, Jonathan Kuminga played a lot. Brandon Podziemski played a lot.
Oh, sure.
Could we
Why
see?
not?
Could this be as much as we all want to see the Warriors and their vets get a chance to ride this out to the sunset?
Absolutely.
We're seeing 2 young players start to play more, and I think it's interesting.
That is the thing.
So this is a little tease here for 12:45.
I have to add, when he said Brandon Podziemski, is that his name? He had to look down and read it. So
Well, it was also incorrect. It's Podziemski.
It's Podziemski.
And we can speaking of, I mean, there's a whole bit. I don't know if anybody saw Zion have some trouble with lackadaisical,
right? Or is it lackadaisical?
Lax. I believe it's lax.
I thought it was lackadaisical.
Well, it's not what Zion
It's not
said.
what Zion
Yeah.
said is definitely what it wasn't.
The question is it Zion or Garnett? That's the question.
Lackadaisical.
Lackadaisical. Oh.
Lackadaisical.
Not like
added-
There you go.
Some people add an S in there.
English major.
Some people
that's
add a
not
Z
true.
in there, as Zion did. So maybe we'll have some fun
I think
with
Zion
that.
added like
with
tons
that-
of different letters.
With that later, as Shams is saying that it's a possibility that Klay Thompson and the Warriors, and to a lesser degree, Andrew Wiggins, this thing might not end the way we all thought it would. And I will tease for the roundtable. I don't know if Frankie and Brenden already listening are Sactown Sports Kings insiders, but there is a name there that I have in the trade machine that I will throw to them. And it ain't Klay Thompson.
Okay.
That's all
Brandon
I'm going to say.
Podziemski?
And it ain't Brandon Podziemski. That's all I'm going to say. So we will have that conversation with them. And I have a trade that I'm going to throw to them as we break down the Warriors and what Shams just said.
Yeah.
So now, right, the question is, if Klay was made available, Beam Regime, the Kingdom, Kings fans all over the world, are you kicking the tires on Klay
No.
Thompson? Can you let me finish the statement? Can you let me finish the statement? Is he a dried up splash brother, or does he just need a fresh start?
I would say at this point he's pretty dried up, and that doesn't mean he can't be impactful, but the problem is when you're going to pay him the dollar figure that apparently he feels like he's worth. I mean, if he's turning down, what is that, $24 million a year, and by Sham's account they're not close to a deal, that means that Klay is probably expecting upwards of $30 million a year, which is just insane. But also, when you think about it, what contract did the Warriors just give Draymond Green? A 4-year, $100 million contract. That's $25 million a year. Think Klay Thompson's going to take less money than Draymond Green will? I don't.
I think he might now. They offered him 20.
I would say, hey, I'm playing for you. Draymond's about to miss 25, 30 games this season just off suspensions. At least, I might not be playing well, but I'll be out there.
So
still Klay Thompson vibes,
So Klay, we don't know the complete timing of this, but hey, Klay, right? We give Draymond 4 years, about 25 million a year.
Yep.
We want to give you 2 years, 24 million, and Klay says kick rocks.
Yep.
And I'm going to prove to you that I'm worth more than this.
Yeah,
and
they better watch out because they could play a dangerous game here where Klay maybe does go to LA and says, I got something for y'all 4 times a year.
Here's the question, right? When you look at relationships, whether it be romantic, whether it be friends, whether it be business-like, sometimes you have to cut your losses and understand that this is going to be the happiest the ending is going to be.
Right.
And I believe that Steve Kerr, the big three, are now looking at each other. And I mean, Draymond is already signed, right? And I don't know who the heck would trade for Draymond right now. So Klay is the odd man out because he doesn't have a contract. And you have to look around and say, you know what? Do we actually think this is going to end any better than right now? We all have that high school flame where it just lasted a little bit longer than it should have.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you think, you know what? We could have just went our separate ways and it would have been better that way. And
You're
I'm
going to
wondering,
one college,
you're going to one college, I'm going to another, but we can still do it long distance. We're on Skype.
We'll break up at the end of summer.
Yeah, we're just going to break, and it never works. Yeah. And you most of the time you think to yourself, you should have just ended it sooner.
Yes.
And I'm wondering now if Klay Thompson and his camp is thinking, let's leave with the good memories before this gets a little bit ugly.
Right.
And even though we'll always remember the good, you don't want it to end poorly.
Right.
And they have such a strong relationship. I think it would be okay. But I think it's time to have that. Klay is probably having that conversation internally.
Yeah, and Klay feels like the guy who is like the definition of the glue guy. He's definitely not a vocal leader at all, but is somebody who I think everybody universally loves. And so he's kind of the guy who, even Draymond, I mean, I'm sure Draymond's yelled at Klay before, but I'm sure even Draymond and Klay have a good relationship to where he's kind of like the team's intermediary. And if you lose that, it kind of does symbol the beginning of the end. And I think it's healthy. I think that's, no one's talking about it now, but I think Bob Myers is probably the happiest man on the planet right now because he's like,
Charles Barkley
saw this a mile away.
Yeah.
Me, I did, Bob Myers. And that's why I was like, I think I'll step down and I think I'll go work at ESPN and I'll go talk in front of the in-season tournament because, I don't want to be known as the guy who broke this thing up or held on for too long. And I kind of think that's what we're going to say about Mike Dunleavy. I think that was his first big move was bringing on Draymond Green. And that's kind of a really big sliding doors moment where like you said, that probably would have been the moment to start saying, I feel like this is a good time to kind of end this. Draymond had just stomped on Sabonis in the playoffs and reignited that conversation of, okay, is this guy ever? And, the Jordan Poole thing last year as well. It felt like the right time to kind of, like you said, make that split right there. And it would be the best time to do it. It would hurt. It's always going to hurt. You break up with that high school sweetheart. It's going to hurt.
A lot of times it's your first love.
But it does. Exactly.
It's the first team.
It doesn't mean that you're not going to be better for it in the long run. And I think Golden State would have been a lot better just letting the Detroit Pistons bag out Draymond Green, or who knows? I mean, seriously, the Kings might have thrown Draymond
on
contract.
that Detroit team.
He would have gotten suspended.
Maybe. Hold on.
He would have already gotten ejected.
Maybe you're onto something. Yeah. Maybe we're past suspending. Maybe Adam Silver has to say, hey, Draymond, you are sentenced to 10 games in Detroit. And you can't leave until you can't get back to the Warriors.
Leave Detroit alone. They're catching, I saw Detroit's catching a bad break right now. Yes, they are on a 20-game losing streak or 20 plus at this point. And yes, they are 2-21, but there's also two other teams out there that are just skating by at 3-19. The Spurs and the Wizards are both 3-19.
Wizards should be
and
getting
no one
more
wants
flack.
to throw them into that conversation.
Wizards should be getting roasted more than both of those other
because
teams.
Those other two teams, I mean, the Wizards were trying to lose too, but at least, the Wizards were throwing money out. They trade for Jordan Poole. They trade for Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
They re-signed Kyle Kuzma, and they are the worst team in the NBA, and Kyle Kuzma is fine, but he's not elevating anything, and Jordan Poole looks as bad as he's ever looked. So
Kyle Kuzma, is that one of those situations where it's December 15th because they re-signed him?
No, it's probably the 31st because he signed.
You got to think his name's going to come up soon.
I would imagine so, right? Because he's at a pretty digestible contract. Even that it was more than Harrison Barnes, but I think he ended up making $24 or $25 million. Yeah, I would think so. I would definitely think a lot of teams would love his services, especially the Sacramento Kings for sure.
I would definitely be into that. Kyle Kuzma, 6'9", that rangy guy who, I think we've just decided, or we have now seen in this short span, that Kyle Kuzma is not going to be the guy, right? Or maybe I don't even know if he's a number 2,
right?
But he could be a darn good number 3, and he can really help the team. So I think there are going to be a lot of suitors out there for Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
And we get to do this all over again.
Oh, yeah.
We get to do this all over again. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we are talking Giants. They actually signed somebody, but did they overpay? We're also talking Ohtani and his tax evasion in California. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Catch. Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Oh, this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
No, I'm getting a cold.
Honey. Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Wendy's Peppermint Frosty and Frosty Cream Cold Brew make the perfect gift for anyone in your life, especially for you. Yeah, this year you're sitting on your own lap and getting yourself what you want. Finally. And if you need a little more pep in your step, get yourself a refreshing Peppermint Frosty Cream Cold Brew. Or you can give it to your mom. Whatever.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
5 dealerships, 1 location. The Knight Group is now in Elk Grove with Elk Grove Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, Elk Grove Subaru, Acura, Audi, and Volkswagen. If you're searching to service or shop for a new vehicle, Knight has it. Trucks, SUVs, sports cars, hybrids, EVs, you name it, Knight has it. Over 2,000 new and used vehicles to choose from, and the Knight Group makes it easy with expert financing, quick service, and a simple 2-step process to value your trade-in. So start and end your search at KnightHasIt.com. That's KnightHasIt.com.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day. Available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking up to 2 p.m. Nate Littlefield breaking it down behind the glass as we try to banish Draymond Green to different teams. We've gone from suspensions aren't enough. He just gets to kick it in his mansion and spend quality time with his kids, right? He's already got as much money in the world, okay? Send him to Detroit for a week. You got to play with Detroit for the next 10 games. That's what you have to do. And somebody on the text line from the 510-916-339-1140, if you want to be a part of the conversation, Somebody on the text line says, he's got to go to Washington with Jordan Poole.
That is
the next time you mess around, Draymond, you got to play with Jordan Poole for 10 games, brother.
And it's his team now.
And you got to listen to him.
Yep.
He's going to call you off screens.
I think the punishment
he's going to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
No more of this. You just get to kick it at home.
Nope.
It's too easy.
That's real punishment. Make him play, actually. You got to play.
You have to play.
You and Jordan Poole's minutes are synced up, as a matter of fact. You have to play every minute that he's on the floor.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's and you can't shoot. You got to pass to him.
Wow.
You got to treat Jordan Poole the same way you treat Steph.
Yep. And if you mess around and you don't, you try to just stand in the corner, it's another game.
Yep. At the end of every game, we're going to determine, did you give proper effort for this game?
Wow.
And if not, then
the community service.
Another game. Exactly.
Community service.
That's exactly.
You can't just sign off, right? Your coach isn't just going to sign off for you. You have to be active in the class. You have to be active in the game.
No participation trophy.
That is great. Keep them coming.
That's incredible.
What should the punishment for Draymond Green be? We're tired of these suspensions. It's not enough. Let's get creative.
It's clearly
with this.
not getting through.
It's not getting through at all.
Right.
So let's get creative with this, with the Dodgers being creative as they sign Shohei Ohtani. And they also are talking to Yamamoto. And Chris, you had said that Mookie, who else was in there?
It was Mookie, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, and Shohei Ohtani, not Will Smith, the actor, Will Smith, the catcher, right? I know baseball.
Yes.
They were all a part of the Yamamoto meeting for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So definitely, gives a little bit of the Hampton 5 vibe, or Hampton, what was it, Hamptons 4? Or no, they called them the Hamptons 5.
When they added him.
They went to the 4 of those guys, the Klay, Iggy, Steph, and Draymond went to go visit KD. A little bit of a similar vibe there where that's a really good selling point. That's a good pitch if you're going to say, why should I come to your team? Well, us, obviously.
Yeah.
No one has this going on. So, that's a pretty good sell.
So quickly, I wanted to do this because I think there are a lot of Giants fans as well as Ace fans out here in Sacramento. And you have Andrew Baggerly, who writes for The Athletic and covers the Giants. This is a quote from Buster Posey from a Baggerly piece from a year ago, right? And Buster has been very vocal, even though he's from the South. He's obviously a Giants legend, right? And he feels bad, right? He had some more things to say about the Giants missing out on Ohtani this time around. He was actually in the room for both attempts to get Ohtani. So they had Buster Posey. I don't know who else was in that room, but they had Buster.
It's usually not great if you're putting retired people in the room, and the other guys might be putting, again, like Freddie,
right. We lit right now. It's
right?
This is the ghost of Christmas past.
Let's have Buster Posey and Barry Bonds in the meeting and be like, look.
And they probably wouldn't even let Barry in there the way they treat Barry. So this is a quote from Buster Posey from a year ago. And I want to get your take as somebody from Sacramento. And obviously I have my thoughts as somebody from the Bay Area. And this is a quote. Something I think is noteworthy, something that is unfortunately it keeps popping up from players and even the players' wives, is there's a bit of an uneasiness with the city itself as far as the state of the city with crime, with drugs, Posey said. Whether that's all completely fair or not, perception is reality. It's a frustrating cycle, I think, and not just with baseball. Baseball is secondary to life and the important things in life. But as far as a free agent pursuit goes, I have seen that it does affect things. Do you think, look, I think it's pretty simple. It's because LA is not the cleanest city either.
It's definitely not.
You got Mookie Betts, everybody you just named. The Dodgers are competitors, contenders every single year. I think it's that simple.
Yep.
Was there any part of Ohtani, and I'm not going to try to overstate this, that thought, San Francisco is intriguing, but it's a dump?
Right.
I don't know. I think that it could be a factor in other situations. In this Ohtani situation, I do not.
Agreed. I think I agree with that 100%. Like, does it play a factor? Is it something that you have to consider if you're going to be moving there? Absolutely. It's a place you're going to live. You have to think that about every place. New York, Chicago, San Francisco. It's really just a big city problem in general. All of those places have quote unquote dirty areas. New York City is littered with them. You got pizza rats and stuff running around New York. Okay.
And they are literally carrying them.
Yes, literally carrying pizzas. So, yeah, it definitely plays a factor into it, but I think you put this on social media last night, and I completely agree with it. How many of these guys are actually even living in San Francisco proper? Like, seriously, how many?
I don't know. I mean, first of all,
not many.
And it's not even. And look, I never lived in the city. It wasn't really my thing. I lived in Oakland, and then I lived in Alameda.
Right.
But when you think when you're watching TV, not that families don't live in cities proper, but what do you always see when you turn on a movie or a show? Oh, we had kids and we went to the suburbs, right? So a lot of these guys have families and they're not in the city.
They want big houses, too.
And they want big houses. So a lot of these guys.
There's no big houses in downtown San Francisco.
They could afford them, but I just don't even think that they would want to go through with that because even they look at value. You see LeBron thinking, I want that $500K. Just because these guys got money don't mean they don't care about money, right? They don't mean they're going to make bad purchases. So I think that it's part of it. Could the city be better? We're not trying to get political here, but when you have to at least throw it out there, these guys are living in, Black Hawk and all these other places.
Steph lives in Walnut Creek, right?
And before that, I think he was in Orinda. These guys are not living in San Francisco right now.
Maybe like the rookies are living in, some high rise.
In high rises. So I don't know. I would put, because you can't put taxes. We're going to get into Shohei's tax evasion as well, but evasion as well. But I understand that San Francisco, and again, we are not getting political. There's a lot of areas where it could improve.
Absolutely.
I don't think anybody's denying that.
Yeah.
But there is and I don't think this is what Buster Posey is saying, so I'm not trying to misquote him. But I don't even think it crossed Shohei's mind when it came to this specific situation. You know what crossed Shohei's mind?
Doesn't have a wife and kids. He's got a dog that he apparently named Dodger or something.
You know what crossed Shohei's mind? Mike Yastrzemski protecting him. You know what crossed his mind, right? Austin Slater protecting him in a lineup. That's what crossed his mind.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was.
He's like, you got Mookie Betts playing every single position in the alley. He's like
a second baseman now, right? He's Mr. Inspector Gadget.
Right.
Meanwhile, you got Casey Schmidt and a bunch of guys that are 4A players. Right. Look, we can have this conversation and understand that. Yeah, it probably didn't help that San Francisco has a negative connotation right now.
Right.
But I do not think that if San Francisco was in the best position that it ever could be, it was never going to swing Shohei. Ooh, what do I want to play with? Right. Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman in L.A. or this really clean city with Austin Slater and Mike Yastrzemski? Ooh, let me think about that. Come on now.
Yeah. And he's not Andre Iguodala either, who's looking for tech money or something like that. He's looking. Shohei has made it very clear ever since day one, he's a winner and he wants to win, and that was his main priority. And to your point, Giants are in a lot worse situation to win right now than what's going on in LA. That's clear and obvious. Even I can tell you that.
Also wanted to get into Young-Hoo Lee, who is a South Korean baseball player that the Giants just signed. Now, what's interesting.
Were you surprised by that? Were there tentacles out there for those rumors at all before? Or did that kind of surprise you?
It surprised me a little bit. Now, I like his swag. I posted a video on Twitter where he actually went Bombo off Yamamoto in the World Baseball Classic.
Really?
So our Larry Kruger has been on this airways. We love Larry. Larry is worried because in the KBO, the average fastball is 88 miles per hour. So Larry is saying, guys, I think it was a bit of an overpay. I don't necessarily disagree with Larry, right? But I will say this, when looking at Young-Hoo Lee's what he was perceived to get. He was predicted from MLB Trade Rumors. Another friend of the show, Jeff Young, went ahead and posted this. They thought he'd get 5 years, $50 million. Okay. He got the Giants signed him for
that's not
$113 million. And I do think it's important because we sit there and we'll say, open the check. Now, I guess opening the check for Ohtani is a little bit different than opening the check for somebody who, the Korean Baseball League is a really good league, but it ain't Major League Baseball. And we've seen some of these guys play well. We've also seen some of these guys not really pan out. Now, just quickly, his slash, Young-Hoo Lee slash for the KBO in 7 seasons. He was a 5-time Gold Glove winner. He said himself, I want to play center. I'm coming to play center. I don't want to play left or right. He slashed 340, 407, and 491. So pretty legit. People are worried that he's going to be more of a slap hitter. So we'll see what happens there.
Giants
At least
will take all hitters.
And the Giants, they're not done.
Yeah,
they're not done. So hopefully they continue to add. Got to get to a break. We did want to say quickly before we go hardcore Kings, but really the rest of the show here, that we found out how Shohei pulled it off or why he deferred. Talking about California and taxes. Here you go. This is from Jesse Morris, right, on Twitter. This is a quote here. Tax law stipulates that if you take your deferred compensation payments over a period of 10 years or more, those payments will be taxed in the state where you reside rather than in the state in which you earn the compensation, potentially reducing your tax liability. So when Shohei is 48, 50 years old and done, most likely he will not be in California.
No, that almost guarantees he won't be.
Not, you will not see me here. No. So when he is done with baseball, he will just bounce out of California, maybe go to Florida, maybe just go back to Japan, and he will be taxed differently. Now, I don't know about the Japan thing. Maybe he needs to have a house in the States and say, hey, I live in Texas or Florida, something like that. But if you look at the taxes and break this whole thing down, Shohei probably says this makes a lot of sense to me. So just, Nate, I know you had asked that question yesterday. That is some of the ways that he avoided it. It's still Ozark. It's still cleaning money. All right, we're out of here. Got to get to a break. When we get back, it is Hardcore Kings previewing the Thunder, and we will have our Kings Roundtable at 12:45. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and mostly sunny skies this afternoon. Temperatures will be warming into the lower 60s as we head through the day. Expect to have mainly clear skies as we head into the evening hours with increasing clouds and cool temperatures. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. So much to get to in the sports world today. Draymond Green going Mortal Kombat on Jusuf Nurkic. You think we're going to get that? You think we're going to get the suspension news
today? It's a good question.
Hadouken is Street Fighter.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Okay, Nate, thank you. We gave you your video game segment yesterday.
I'm just letting you guys know. We got to get things right here.
Yeah,
that's true.
Which one's Fatality? Is
that's Mortal
He
Kombat.
just goes Fatality. But probably get over here. That one, that's Mortal Kombat. Scorpion.
That's definitely
Scorpion
Draymond right there.
That was my guy. Yeah, he did say get over here.
Get over here. I would think so. I would definitely think so. Like, how much time do you really need to look at it and deliberate? It's it's I understand maybe trying to find the perfect, time frame to figure out how many exact games you feel like is right, but it's not going to take that much breaking down. I feel like after you had enough time with the backlash last night, and now you have had some time to kind of digest it and sit with it, and I assume league office is in New York, so they're 3 hours ahead. I would assume we probably hear it in the next couple hours.
I would imagine so too, as we are.
When's the Warriors' next game?
Well, that's what Jason Ross had said. If it is 20 games.
So they play on Thursday. They play tomorrow. So I would assume they probably have to get it in.
If it is 20 games, again, Draymond would return against the Kings. I don't think it's going to be 20, man.
It could be. It really could be.
If it's 20,
it would be surprising. But that's like max punishment.
If it's 20, what do you do if you're the Warriors? You go out and get somebody. Or do you just say,
that's interesting.
young bulls?
I think it's young
see what
bulls
you got.
at that point, because I think that's the situation that Draymond has put you in. Like you were not anticipating making a move. I don't think you can just reactionary make a move because he's out. I think you just got to kind of go to him and say, this is exactly why everyone's been telling you to stop, because you're hurting. Now you've hurt the team. Like it was hurting the team when you miss 5 games. You can survive 5 games. But if it's 15 to 20 games, well, now Draymond, you've pretty much just ruined our season being selfish. You're going to be suspended
for the second year in a row.
For the second year in a row. That's a great point. That's a fantastic. And we just paid you. We just chose you. How much more respect do you want us to give you? We traded off the guy that you hated. We signed you to a contract that you did. I mean,
wait, by the way, just real quick.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when Draymond, I think it was one of his, it was a TNT, some interview that he did, and he basically said, one day I'll let you guys know what happened.
Oh, yeah.
As if Jordan Poole did something one day.
Yeah.
And I'm just still curious as to what it could have been. Now, I do have, I've heard some things. I'm sure you've heard some things, but
yeah,
Draymond, I don't even think it matters now. If he had went clean after that, maybe, but this is probably one of his dirtiest years.
Yeah. Already.
This is one of his dirtiest
20
years.
games in.
We're 20 games. This is actually insanity.
Yeah. It's I mean, that's what's so frustrating about it, is like this dude, again, he's only supposed to be getting older. You would think he wouldn't have the energy for this kind of thing.
No, I don't. It tires me out. It tires me out. The one thing I guess I'm curious about is Draymond really made waves with it. And I wonder what TNT thinks about this, because this is uncharted territory, because you have somebody in Draymond who really has done something we haven't seen before, right? Where he is still playing. I don't know if he's the first, right? We obviously WNBA players have done it too, but maybe the biggest in his prime to do the TNT thing, right? And do this as well.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if, we all got side hustles, but I'm wondering if maybe the NBA is put in a sticky situation because it's, hey, you got to deal with the NBA even though you're still playing. Did Draymond maybe think he was a bit more untouchable because of this weird relationship that he has, where he's part of the media and he's sitting there joking with Charles Barkley about his suspensions and things that have happened? It's just a little different.
I could maybe see in totality, maybe just Draymond thinks himself as a bigger asset to the league than he actually is, because I wouldn't say he is a big star. Like, I mean, the fact that every radio and television program today is probably leading and talking a majority of their program today about Draymond. He's a star. Like, he gets ratings. He'll get you numbers. Stephen A. will get you clicks. But is he necessarily an overall asset to the league? Like, I don't know if, I mean, he's definitely an asset to the league with the drama. And again, all this stuff he's stirring up. But yeah, I wonder if he thinks he's more important than what he actually is. Like, he thinks that he has a Steph Curry shield around him. And in actuality,
you're not
Steph
that guy,
Curry's
pal.
the only one who has the Steph Curry shield.
But Steph
not even that Steph needs a shield, but he
doesn't
thinks,
put the league in those types of situations.
I was thinking, would you rather have a guy, and maybe I'm completely off base here. Would you rather have a guy like Draymond Green, who is a hothead all the time, is liable to get ejected any game.
Okay.
We see him get suspended all the time. Would you rather have that where you never know when he's going to be available because of his emotion? Or would you rather have a teammate like Dennis Rodman, who between the games, no one knows where he's at, but he's there during the games and he'll show up and he'll give you a little something.
Easy.
But like
Dennis Rodman.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't that saying something? Like Dennis Rodman, I would say, is probably the most extracurricular player we've ever seen in any sport, maybe. And the fact that I think a lot of people would rather have, even just on your team, you would rather have Dennis Rodman than Draymond Green. I think that's a really damning thing to say about a guy. And I think that really, and I don't think you're crazy at all. I probably would rather have, it's picking the worst of two evils, but
wait, so you're saying, let me get this straight. So Dennis Rodman, the issue is because of his outer.
Yeah, I mean, he's clubbing, he's drinking, he's showing up to practices hungover, showing up to, at least he's at the games.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody said in The Last Dance was, look, we almost let
But
Dennis
why
go
wouldn't
crazy.
you pick Dennis Rodman over Draymond? Who would pick Draymond over him?
Because Dennis Rodman's a lunatic?
But if he's on the court and he's not getting kicked out.
Rodman's craziest stuff have come after the NBA, though, correct?
I mean,
Like
he was not
going to North Korea.
I mean, that's definitely not stable. That's not a thing that everybody's doing. But also, I mean, like,
Not allowed to.
Dennis Rodman is, again, like, he's clubbing and before finals games.
No, I hear you. I hear you, but
pre-social media, I mean, it's a different world.
It's weird. It's not a. Is it fair to say that maybe Draymond is more important to the Warriors than Rodman was? And I know I'm going to get destroyed by somebody for that.
I mean,
but
no, I think that's. I mean, they're really similar in the sense of they're not like your prototypical star, but they do.
I got to defend and rebound.
Yeah,
I got to defend and rebound.
Yep.
Draymond. A lot of people try to take it away from Steph to say Draymond runs the offense. Right. So I don't know. I think it's pretty close of a comparison. But I'm taking Rodman all day. I'm just thinking here. Stephen A. Yesterday he will eat the table. I need Stephen A. to come out today and say, I'm hearing around from my sources that Draymond Green will break the table. He will punch the table.
That brother needed help.
I've been talking to club owners all across San Francisco. They all want Draymond Green as their bouncer. They see him, okay? He will throw you out the club, okay? Word is out.
For no reason. For no reason. If you look at him sideways, if you forget to take a tic tac,
okay,
you getting
if
thrown
you got
out
a
the club.
solid colored shirt on, okay, no team hats.
I tried to tell him no Jordans in the club. Draymond Green slapped him in the face.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get to a break. When we get back, we're breaking down the Thunder, who are doing pretty darn well. Yeah, the Thunder. They've turned it around quickly. And right now they are number 2 in the West. So the Kings, tomorrow night, they better bring it. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers have owned the NFC West this season, and they look to take out their division rival Arizona on Sunday.
It's an end around to Deebo Samuel coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers and Cardinals Sunday at 1 from Arizona on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
I gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your fit. You know my car's my happy place. Keep a smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who's facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Online at CordellCordell.com.
We are toasting the new year in style with country star Tyler Rich at Gold Country Casino Resort.
There's a difference between
Special guest, the Chain Slack Band, will warm the crowd up. We are counting down to midnight with Tyler Rich. Get your tickets now at GoldCountryCasino.com for the biggest New Year's Eve party around.
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
At Jim Boy's Tacos, you get a lot of flavor for under $10. Our classic #2 combo meal spreads cheer with a farm-dusted ground beef taco, scratch-made bean and cheese burrito, and a soft drink. So jingle on down to Jim Boy's or order online at participating locations. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Right now, the sewer system is probably the last thing on your mind. And that's okay, because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. If you have a sewer problem like a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night.
Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
At American Energy, their number one priority is making sure you and your family are comfortable in your home for the holidays. And that's why they're giving away a free whole home HVAC system to one lucky family in the greater Sacramento area. Now, if you or you know a family in need of being comfortable this winter, enter for your chance to win the American Energy Comfort Giveaway by going to the AEway.com today. You could win a free whole home HVAC system. American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. For official contest rules, go to the AEway.com.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Nate Littlefield breaking it down. That was a really well-timed drop right there, Nate.
You ever see the Chappelle skit where he's got the turn my left headphone up? He's like,
yo, turn the left
wait
up.
a minute. And then it just drops. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. More snare.
Put some treble in it.
Draymond needs to put less of everything in everything as we talk about Draymond, and we are looking to see what happens to him. The Warriors play tomorrow, so we will keep up with that for you. 916-339-1140 in 15 minutes. We will have our Kings Roundtable with Brenden Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli. Get your calls in, get your texts in, get your Sac chats in to be a part of the conversation. Any questions, any comments that you want Brenden and Frankie to react to our Sactown Sports Kings Insiders. And 916, as we compared, or Chris made a great comparison between Rodman and Draymond. 916 says Rodman got a ton of texts and kicked the cameraman, and it's way better than Green.
Yeah.
He led the league in rebounds, talking about
sure.
Rodman, yeah.
I mean, it's tough because, I mean, I think they both definitely bring something that every championship team needs, definitely. I mean, they're the guys who will do the dirty work, sometimes quite too literally. They'll do the dirty work, and And, those Steph isn't going to want to dive for loose balls and isn't going to want. And he shouldn't. And he shouldn't have to guard the other team's best defender or best offensive player either. And that's what those guys were asked to do. They definitely bring value to their team, which makes it so difficult. There's always the question of how big of a headache or how good of a player do you have to be to deal with as big of a headache as you can be. And those guys just feel like they skirted that line more than anybody else, as well as, again, as he, again, perfectly referenced himself, Antonio Brown was a similar case in the NFL where it's a sad reality. Really, it is. No, it is, because it becomes a point with all these guys where Antonio Brown's still talented. It's just that dude is too crazy. The juice is not worth the squeeze. And it feels like Draymond is getting to that point where the antics just aren't worth the squeeze that he's giving. And Draymond still, to his credit, I would say is underrated at this time right now. Like, Draymond's having a ridiculous season. Let me look at his splits.
Well, he only got to play every other game.
I mean, that definitely doesn't help, or it doesn't hurt. I mean, that's not hurting, but Draymond's like career year right now, shooting 49% from the field. And here's the thing that no one's talking about. Draymond's back to shooting the three ball. He's shooting 42% on 3 attempts a game this year. 9 points per game. It's his highest point total average since the 2017-18 season. He's having a career year, but he just can't get out of his own way. Like, that's inexcusable. That you can't have that anymore. And it's got to be frustrating. I mean, if you're a Warrior fan, Steve Kerr seems like he's been fed up with it. But yesterday, I mean, what a rough day for Steve Kerr yesterday. Not only did Draymond get suspension or get ejected and possible suspension, had to talk about that. He then benched Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Looney. That was a tough decision, and now has to answer for that as well. And they lose in that game. And Wiggins and Klay are sitting on the bench as the Warriors need a 3 to tie that game. Things are not going well, and I knew it was bad this morning when I saw Tim Kawakami put out just the sentence of, this is how the Warriors dynasty ends, with Draymond Green getting kicked out for punching, and Klay Thompson, Wiggins, and Looney sitting on the bench after too many ineffective minutes, and Curry running around just trying to save the entire situation. This is usually how these things go. You never think it's going to be this year, right? Everybody always thinks, oh no, the demise is, you can see it coming, but it's still a couple years down the road. No one ever sees it until it's already in their face. And it feels like right now, especially if Draymond's going to get suspended for 15, 20 games, like you said, feels like this could be a very abrupt ending to maybe the best dynasty we've seen since the Jordan Bulls.
Yeah, you never know how something is going to end. And I do want to ask, and first we have a text from the 530. Draymond should work as a referee so he can see how messed up of a player he must look from a referee point of view. As I said, make him referee a little kid's volleyball game, every game, all ages, for 3 months every weekend. As we threw out on the airwaves, what should Draymond's punishment be? Because suspensions clearly are not working. Make him ref little kids volleyball games. Yeah. Or T-ball when they're, he might get hit in the shin with the bat or something like that. Make him do something like that. It's interesting you read off what Draymond's been doing this season, because I've always been of the mindset that, out in the Bay, everybody sits there and says, no, nobody else could do what Draymond does. Right. Nobody else could do what Draymond does. And, I got destroyed a lot on those airwaves because I just don't think that's necessarily true anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah. I didn't think it last season. No, I didn't think it last season. Last season was kind of the start of the decline, though. Again, this year he's taken a bit of a step up. But yeah, I agree. I think that he's long, really since KD left, which I don't think there's any connection to it, but I think since KD left really has been when Draymond hasn't been the same guy. Even then, you kind of saw a little bit of him taking a back seat, but he definitely wasn't that guy that almost saved the Warriors in that Game 7 against Cleveland. You remember that Game 7 where Draymond hit, I think, 5 threes in the first half and had 20 points, led them in scoring, and then you've just never felt like he's been that weapon, definitely not offensively, but also defensively. I mean, he's a guy who was a generational defender, definitely was the best defender of this era, but he's lost half a step and he was already undersized. And so if you can't jump like you used to, if you've lost your speed and you're really just relying on IQ at this point, you really are only going to have so much of an impact. And it's kind of like Klay, where you might have days and moments where, there was that clip that went viral of Draymond stopping the Kings in a 3-on-1 fast break by himself. Right. You could channel it for a minute. Klay might be able to have a 20-point quarter or something, but the problem is you're not doing it every day. You might be able to do it once a week at best, but that's not good enough for how this Warrior team's constructed. This Warrior team still is built like we need Klay and we need Steph and we need Draymond to be our best players.
Yeah, and we're on the lookout, because if it is 20 games, that next game would actually be against the Kings. Once again, I don't think it would have the same juice. I believe that game is in San Francisco, so wouldn't have the same juice, but we are on the lookout for that. And really, just as Kings fans, just deflecting, because the Kings, they didn't do us any favors last night, because they laid a complete egg as we get ready for our roundtable with Frankie Cardicelli and Brenden Nunez. And this is what we're going to get into. And Frankie, I believe, is the one that posted this last night. The Kings have 9 losses. 4 of those losses have been by 18 or more points. Mm-hmm. And 3 of those losses have been by 20 or more points. 7 of 9 have been blowouts.
Yeah, absolute blowouts.
And 1 was the last second shot by Klay. And off the top of my head, I'm not even sure of the other game. Was it the Pelicans? Did they get that one within?
Yes,
that had to have been the second Pelicans game.
Yeah, where they showed better effort, but still had the same problems.
Right.
Can't stop Zion, can't stop Brandon Ingram.
So you burn the tape. They can still go out.
There's a lot of burnt tape.
There's a lot of burnt tape, right? You can still go out. You beat the Thunder. You beat the Jazz, and shout out Jordan Poole. You beat the Wizards. You're feeling good about that stretch. That'd be a 5-1 stretch. Mm-hmm. But this curious case of just completely not showing up.
Right.
People got on you for, hey, when they did this against the Pelicans,
I remember.
And people saying, hey, don't go so hard on them. It's not that big of a deal. When is it going to be a big deal?
Yep.
Because be careful what you say. Because whenever you say, okay, it'll be a big deal after Christmas, it'll be a big deal in February, then it's too late.
Yep.
You need to start rounding into form now.
Yeah.
And laying egg after egg after egg is not the way that you want to do things. And I'm looking at Mike Brown. I'm looking at the leaders on this team. They're not this isn't the Rockets, right? I know the Rockets got a little bit older, but this isn't the Pistons. This isn't the Spurs, right? It's the Magic.
These guys are hitting winning time about now. They're all around 26, 27, starting to hit your prime right there.
And you want to sit there and talk about championship mentality.
Yep.
And go out against I sit there, Chris, I say, man, this would be great. You beat a Paul George. You beat a Kawhi. And Kawhi.
By the way, Paul George didn't play that second half. Got hurt.
Didn't even play the second
15 minutes. Didn't even play the second half. Didn't matter.
Kawhi, he goes into a time machine. He turns back into Toronto Kawhi. Yeah. And at some point, I'm thinking, you know what? That's because the Clippers respect you, Kings. That's because the Clippers think that these guys, we got to show up.
Double overtime Kings.
Right. Yeah. We got to show up. And you know what? They get there, the game starts, and this isn't.
Yeah.
This is the Kang showed up tonight. Yeah. We didn't know that. The second time. The first time we thought, okay, they're coming off a back-to-back. We're not. We're about to start our back-to-back. Cool. Kawhi had a look in his eyes that said he respected you.
Yep.
Right? And you said, you don't need to, Kawhi.
Yeah.
We're not showing up tonight. We're just going to roll the ball around.
Yep.
We're just going to chuck up threes because we made so many last night. We're just going to keep rolling. We're just going to not defend.
Yeah.
We're just going to act like we don't care. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. And the thing that really got me when I was looking at the numbers in the post game, I'm going to make sure I got the number right here. The fast break points for the Clippers yesterday was the most, not disrespectful, but to me said the Clippers mentality for that game. I just, again, want to make sure I get the right number before I say it. they had 7 fast break points yesterday. The Clippers did, and scored 120 points. What that tells me is the Clippers said, well, we're totally fine just going into a half-court offense, and we just think we can beat you. Like, we think that we can just have the horses to either ISO you or we like the matchups. We don't even need to run. That's not where our bread's going to be better. We're going to line up from you right directly across.
They can't afford to run.
And y'all just can't guard us. You don't have the personnel. You don't have anyone to slow down Kawhi Leonard. He's going to get to his spot. You're going to double team James Harden, and you're going to leave Paul George wide open in the corner, and he's going to splash that thing. They weren't afraid of the Kings at all. They said, let's line it up, and you can't stop us.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And the Kings
didn't.
I think the Clippers shot 50% yesterday as well. Those 2 games now, the Clippers have played the Kings and shot over 50, significantly over 50% from the field. Last time they shot like 45% from 3. At least this time they held them to 38. But I mean, they got whatever they wanted, and I think they kind of knew, like you said at the start of the show, Kings just didn't have the horses to line up with them.
It was one of, and you look at the scorebook and the box score, and it was balanced scoring, right? You talked about Paul George. He had 9. He didn't play the second half. Kawhi had 31, so he did his thing. But everybody else got some. And I know that it ended up being a blowout to some of these guys who didn't really get that many minutes. But you get 9 from Paul George. You get 6 from Zubac. You had 9 rebounds. You get 10 from Terrence Mann. You get 15 from James Harden. You get 15 from Norman Powell. Right. You get 7 from Kobe Brown. Right. You get 8 from Russell Westbrook, which is a lot for Russell Westbrook these days. Yeah. You get 8 from Daniel Tice. You get a couple points from Coffee, towards the bone. Yeah. They even let Bones Highland play. They've been trying to not let this man play since he came over in a trade. Even Bone Highland's got 6 points. Embarrassing. All right. We have the Kings Roundtable coming up right here. Get your questions lined up. Get your comments lined up with our Sactown Sports Kings Insiders. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Discover Timber Creek Ballroom, a hidden gem in West Roseville, boasting an 18-hole golf course and the perfect event venue. Whether you're planning a wedding, a corporate event, or any special occasion, Timber Creek Ballroom offers natural beauty, elegant spaces, and affordability, with room for 50 to 300 guests, indoors or outdoors. Timber Creek Ballroom has the perfect spot for your event. Visit timbercreekballroom.com for details. Excellent meets affordability at Timber Creek Ballroom, where your extraordinary events come to life.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Does your dog leave frowny piles of poo around the yard? Did you know that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food is made with organic super seaweed and other powerful antioxidants, supporting a healthy digestive system. Real protein is always the first ingredient, plus a blend of essential vitamins and minerals to help support your dog's overall health and well-being. Do their digestion a solid, literally. Find Supreme Source Premium Dog Food at Safeway, Safe Mart, and Winco, or a local grocery store near you.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is the best place to go all in and all out. Go all in at our table games, then go all out to win on the area's only 3-story indoor kart track. Or go all in for our famous award-winning buffet. Then go all out at our state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and beautiful resort hotel, you can go all in for fun and all out for comfort. We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
The time that you've been waiting for. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. We are joined by Frankie Cardicelli and Brenden Nunez, our Sactown Sports Kings insiders. As we break down all things Kings, of course, we're going to get their thoughts on Draymond Green. But guys, and I do have a trade. Maybe you saw it on my social media. I hope you didn't. Because I do have a trade that I will throw to you at some point during this hour. But I just want to ask you guys, as the Kings insiders, and, Chris and I joke about the Kings. They really do mail it in early. So if you need to cook, if you need to put your baby down, if you need to feed the dog, they tell you, hey, we're not showing up today, but you're the insiders. You got to stay locked in. Just how difficult is it when they decide we're going to play like trash cans tonight?
Well, the bright side, I guess, is that we're very conditioned. No, we're very conditioned.
Yeah,
I mean, at least Chris and I growing up, and then
we were born in it.
We were born in the darkness. Yeah, and then Brenden was obviously, he's a Bay Area transplant. Bay Area transplant. Brenden, he's already used to it too. But I think that it is nice that, well, nice, maybe unideal on the other end of things, but you do know, like early in the game, in the first quarter, that the Sacramento Kings either have it or they don't.
Mm-hmm. I am definitely the one in our media row where I'm like, I don't know, man, they could bring this back.
Oh, man.
And I hold on to it for a long time before I'm finally like, okay, this is done. And that makes these sometimes kind of tough, but I guess I hold on to a little bit of hope. I'm like, I don't know, they score fast. I was watching the game with somebody else last night. They're like, nah, that's over beginning of the third. I'm like, nah, they could totally bring this back. And sure, they have moments where they don't, but that was like one of the least fight that they had. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, was it a little too obvious? And maybe that's why we didn't talk about it yesterday. Was it a little too obvious to say, guys, they just broke the franchise record in 3-pointers with 25. Of course, they're not going to be able to throw a beach ball in the ocean tonight, right? Because I didn't even bring it up. Right. But was it too obvious to even bring up that they were going to be frozen the night after just being red hot from 3-ball?
I think a gradual, I'm putting a little emphasis on gradual. A gradual decline would have been expected, because when you knock down 25 threes, there's a 99.9.
Tough to knock down 26 the next game.
99.9% chance you're not going to make 26 the next night. But to come out and shoot 10 and 37, 27%, 0-7 in the second quarter, which, and a lot of people are kind of paying attention to, the Kings are arguably the worst second quarter team in the NBA, or are, but from a number standpoint, there's no coming back from that. And the Kings, we've seen it before, time and time again, when the shots aren't falling from three, they don't really try to change things up on you. They kind of keep just letting it fly. And I think sometimes it works out and they find it late in the game, but not to say the 3-point shooting was the only problem last night. Really, across the board, there's not really much that is great. The 27 assists, Kings are a top 5 team in assists, but that's going to be who they are. That's their identity. But at a certain point too, and we can talk about this a little later, but the free throw shooting is just, don't give me. And look, they missed 7 last night, 70%. Mm-hmm. they're 27th in the NBA in free throw shooting.
That's awful.
They're going to lose a playoff game because they miss free throws.
Again?
It's going to happen. No, it's going to happen.
They'll turn it
Again.
on. They'll turn it on when it's time.
No, they won't. Free throw? No.
Your two worst players are just
Yeah,
not
they're-
good free throw shooters. Like De'Aaron's gotten better.
They're really
Domas
the
has
only
had
two
okay-
guys who get to the line
Yeah,
at all.
yeah, for
That's
sure.
a good point.
Yeah, I mean, right now, just like Domantas Sabonis right now is shooting 67% from the free throw
That's
line.
an improvement of where he was to start the year.
She's not going to cut it.
No, it's not going to cut it. I want to stick with Sabonis, and we're going to talk Herter as well, because he's a guy. He got hot. We were all on him. It seems like so long ago we were.
It does.
Herter, what are you doing? He heats up. He hurts his finger, and he's never really been the same since he's returned. But being from the Bay, I have buddies that are texting me, and I've been really selling the Kings to a lot. I got friends watching the Kings who had never watched the Kings before, right? And they're hitting me up about Barnes and Sabonis. And one of my buddies hit me up yesterday, and he had some things to say about Sabonis. And I thought about it as well, because Sabonis is a guy who all NBA, it's very polarizing because he's connected to Halliburton. We don't need to get into all of that today. But when I think about Sabonis and his offensive repertoire, is there any worry, and I'm going to go baseball here because my guy Frankie is here, that second time through the lineup, I've already seen your curveball. I've already seen your fastball. Does it worry you about Sabonis that he's got, I don't know, 5 to 7 moves, and once he's kind of gone through them, defenders aren't really that impressed? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching here. Sometimes it feels like, all right, I've done my 4 moves and nobody did anything, and that in part hurts, and it turns into a chuck fest because let's just chuck up threes because we can't really. He's really a big part of your offense. When he's not going and he's not doing anything, you got that, and you got De'Aaron driving. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and then Malik, and I think Malik getting those 3 quick fouls was really tough yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's somebody that can provide that extra spark. To answer your question about Domas, like, I don't know how many teams in the league are posting up their big and telling him to go to work. Like, here and there, he can do it for you. He's still really efficient on the year. Obviously, the 3 ball's not there, and I'm not holding out hope that comes around, but you never really know in time. Not talking this year.
He's a 40% 3-point shooter.
I heard that on the broadcast yesterday, and I was like, gosh, I never even bothered to look it up because
limited volume.
Yeah, they're all wide open, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know. I think he does his job. I think that the offense flows through him. He does a great job setting screens, getting other guys open, allows and enables all of the cutters, and gets rebounds, puts them right back if he needs to, and just kind of goes to work when he feels like he needs to. But I think more so the bigger issue is like there's too many possessions where just nothing's happening. Guys look confused. So Domas decides to take things into his own hands. And from there, it's probably not going to go great, to your point. But I don't know if I'd point at Domas for that necessarily.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, again, with the bigs in the NBA today, I mean, how many moves do they have? I mean, unless you can shoot the basketball. And Domantas Sabonis, that's been the biggest knock on his game since the playoffs, especially. But the fact that he's very consistent with his mid-range game, the 3-point shot, like, yeah, it's 40% from 3, but I'd imagine that's on maybe 1+ attempt per game.
Can't make them if you don't take them.
But I mean, at times looks good, and at times he looks lost, and especially at the free throw line. But I do think it kind of comes back to, are the players around Sabonis knocking down their shots? Because that's going to go hand in hand with his success as well, as far as his assists go. And I mean, as far as his individual performance, the last time he played against Zubac in the Clippers, it was his worst game of the year. I think he had a triple single that game. Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
And last night, obviously a little bit better, but I do think that it kind of comes back to the shooters. And if the guys from the perimeter aren't making their shots, Kevin Huerter obviously has been nowhere to be found the last couple of games. Keegan Murray, who had a good game last night, I think he's playing very well lately, but didn't knock down the 3-pointer. So that's kind of going to go back, and Sabonis is going to suffer because of that.
Did you guys see that stat yesterday, by the way, that De'Aaron Fox has now hit 3 or more threes in 20 straight games?
No, he's made 20 straight. I put out yesterday that he made a 3 in 20 straight, which was
maybe it was that. Maybe
it's the longest stretch of his career that he's made at least 1 3. I know that as far as the most games he's made 3 or more threes in a season, I think he's already tied his career high in that. He's making a lot of threes.
His shot is, I just can't believe it. I was looking at like the basketball reference of just like the progression of his 3-point shot. Came into the league and I think was at 30 or 32%, then took higher volume the next year and fell down to 29%, and it never got as high as 32 on, I think, 4 attempts a game. And now he's at 38 on 8 attempts per game. I can't believe that he's at this point this early in his career. I thought it was going to be like a Mike Conley situation where we're just hoping that by year 10, year 12, he's at 36, 37. I just can't believe that he's shooting this well. And obviously, I mean, it's a big reason for why he's in that MVP case right now at 30 a game.
And we saw the progress starting last year, right? Like there was some progress from 3. He was getting them up a little bit more, talked a lot about how he'd worked so much with Luke Laux on that. And I think it just kind of compiled, and led to this year. The confidence is ridiculous, like I think he went 3 of 4 in that first quarter yesterday. And it seems like he gets him up a lot in the first. I'm sure it's kind of to set the tone and get defenses respecting you a little bit from there. But he's confident, man. He's throwing it up. He's not doing a full Steph Curry where he doesn't look anymore, but he's turning his body before he does his little arm wave. He's feeling good right now.
I mean,
and I feel good when they go up.
Yeah, look, I always said he had a pretty shot. Right, yeah. I thought he did.
Because he's lefty. Stop with your prejudice.
Are you lefty too?
Oh yes, man.
Are you?
Exactly.
No.
The
way you got me
so excited.
Well, no.
Can you play backup point guard?
I mean, you saw my video. I'm jogging again for my Achilles. I'm back now. Don't look now. Don't look now. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing to talk to our Sactown Sports Kings insiders. Are they giving the Kings a pass because of the back-to-back? Was it a scheduled loss? Also talking Warriors drama. And, you got to wait until about 1:15 for my trade, and we'll see whether they just walk out of the studio. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Oh, this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need Dayquil Severe Honey.
Dayquil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
No, I'm getting a cold.
Honey. Try Dayquil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. Dayquil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, this is Travis Kelce, NFL tight end and proud member of the Lowe's home team. Lowe's knows when you've got the best price, you've already won. That's why we offer the lowest price guarantee. If you find a better price online or in store, we'll match it. Now you can score on the top brands from the Lowe's home team picks, like Scotts, LG, and DeWalt. So take on your projects with confidence. Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retail partner of the NFL.
Price match applies to same item, current price, or qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hold on to your Santa hats, because Elk Grove Kia is turning up the holiday heat with deals that'll leave you saying no money down. This Christmas, keep your wallet at home, because Elk Grove Kia is making your dreams come true with 0 down payment. That's right, absolutely nothing out of your pocket to drive home in a brand new Kia today. Or, if you're ready to slay the season in style, picture this: the award-winning 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, the hottest sled in town, for just $439 per month plus tax. You heard it right, only $439. So whether it's the sleek 2024 Kia Telluride or the no money down offer, Elk Grove Kia says 0 hassles and 0 worries. ElkGroveKia.com.
Qualified applicants, 0 down, example, stock number GK913348 monthly, 0 down, model number C3422, Telluride 24 monthly, 439 plus tax, 4495, new exciting, 0 security deposit, residual 33,352, and 8 years, December 11th, this name GK9143, expired 12
Elk Grove Kia.
from the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTK AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Our Kings Roundtable. Somebody last week said, Kings Roundtable, our favorite segment. I don't know if they meant for the day or for our show, but either way, we got them here. Frankie Cardicelli and Brenden Nunez. Brenden Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli. I'll do it the other way around.
Yeah, alphabetical.
Our Sactown Sports Kings insiders as we talk the Kings after another letdown of a game where they really did let us down. You know, the kind of these marquee games, guys, as we sit here and we ride for Sabonis and we ride for De'Aaron Fox, beating a team with a big three that have seemed to play pretty well. They've won 8 of their last 11 now. They had won 7 of their last 10 with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. You should have had some bad intentions on your mind because they snuck up on you last time. You had just lost that emotional game to the Warriors, right? And the Clippers kind of slid in there and just got a cheap W, in my opinion. And I think we were willing to call that one a scheduled loss. But this one, They were both coming off back-to-backs, and you are the younger team. You should be the hungrier team, and they had none of it. It was bad, Frankie. It was bad.
That's the thing that I'm kind of most perplexed about. It's the Clippers are the one looking like the young up-and-coming team, and they have guys that are, I think the average age in the Clippers this year has got to be around 33, 34 years old, maybe higher. And the Kings, I think, are one of the younger teams in the league. I think JaVale McGee being on the team might have, unbalanced that number a little more. But JaVale.
Shout out JaVale always.
But
let's not.
Hey, ageism's a thing, all right. But they have a lot of young guys on this team that fresh legs. They should definitely be able to come out there and beat a team like the Clippers, who we know all the chatter around Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. But you know what? Those guys have played in every game this year, and every back-to-back, especially. There's no excuse. And I think the Kings being as flat as they were, it's kind of hard to pinpoint like what the exact issue was, because really the whole entire body of work was just horrible. Like there really wasn't anything that looked great. I think like if you want to really nitpick and find a bright spot, Sasha Vezenkov looked great in garbage time. Take from that what you will. Keegan Murray looks like he's still finding a way to score the basketball, even though his shot's not falling. His defense looked good at times. Other than that, there's really not anything that's positive to take from this loss. So it kind of comes back to how do you respond? And the Kings have done a good job since last year of responding to adversity. And you have a tough test on Thursday against an OKC team that's playing well, and you beat them already this year without De'Aaron Fox, but it's going to be a challenge.
I think it was a combination of like the one thing on each side of the ball that we've often seen them struggle with. Like defensively, the Clippers are just walking to whatever spot they want on the floor. I know that's what Kawhi does, and he's great at that. And the Kings don't have the personnel to really slow him down. But they're just getting wherever they want. And it seems like they're just walking through it. The physicality that they've been preaching so much just was not there at all last night. Maybe that second night of a back-to-back, that's not an excuse, just trying to figure out why. And then offensively, I thought they were putting shots up too quickly on like the first side of an action, settling for okay shots rather than looking for good to great. And, just shooting it quick, like almost like you're trying to get it all back on one play. I remember a couple Kevin Huerter shots where it's like, dude, just calm down a little bit. Like, let's move the ball a little bit more. We'll probably get something better on the second side of the play.
The Paul George thing, fine. Okay. Kawhi, fine. There's only one Keegan Murray on that team, and I know Harrison Barnes is doing the best he can, right, as that secondary defender in these situations. But you're getting beat in the year of 2023, you're getting beat by James Harden off the dribble on layups. That's crazy to me.
Blown by.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then they went to Davion, and it's like, I guess it got a little better, but not enough.
Not enough.
I don't think enough. What do you guys think? I mean, we talk a lot about trades and guys to bring in, but this is still a good team. It's still a good roster.
Sure.
How do you feel like Mike Brown's been managing the rotation, or do you feel like this is a good opportunity? Maybe it's only one loss, but do you feel like it's maybe a good opportunity to go back to the drawing board when it comes to the rotations? You mentioned Davion checking back in. I think that was in the second half for Keon's minutes. Yeah. Do you feel like maybe it might be time to look at the rotations again?
I mean, you go ahead, Brenden.
I mean, I think that like there's just two spots. It's backup point guard and it's backup center.
Right.
And I think that I wish Davion did better in those minutes yesterday. I thought he was fine, but I thought it was a really good opportunity for him on a night where they don't have much energy. Like you're mentioning, it's James Harden taking guys off the dribble. That's what Davion's good at containing. They play a lot of ISO against the Clippers, but the second the screen comes, he kind of struggles there. I thought he could have been better. I still would probably lean towards Keon, but I think you look at that. And the other one for me is backup center. JaVale's been kind of getting those minutes in the first half. And I feel like more often than not, by the second half, they decide, we're going to go small ball 5. And Mike Brown said earlier in the year, like, he's still going to settle things out. And he wants to give guys opportunities to compete for the spot. He's not just going to say, JaVale's not been cutting it. Let's get him out of here. This is a long season. So see if he can figure it out, find a groove, give him an opportunity to potentially win that spot. And right now, I don't think he has been, to be honest, but I get that that's just a little bit of a process testing him out. I'm sure Alex will get opportunity when he comes back, Alex Len. But those are the two spots that really stand out to me.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear that Mike Brown's going to take guys. He's going to pull guys if they're not playing defense. Yeah. And Kevin Huerter, especially, I mean, was playing really well for about a month. I mean, he was scoring 15 points per game on 40+% shooting from 3, and that's 30 minutes per game during that stretch. But the last 3 games, I'm looking at 16 minutes, 17 minutes, 16 minutes, and he's scored a combined 10 points over the past 3 games. So it just kind of goes back to the beginning of the season where we were seeing Kevin Huerter get the quick hook, and Malik Monk's been playing very well lately. Like he's been playing incredible. I mean, that Malik Monk flu game, whatever you want to call it, the other night was incredible to see. But it kind of goes back to the defensive aspect of what this team has and who they have in the personnel right now. And if Kevin Huerter's not playing well, he's not going to be on the floor, especially in the defensive end. So I think Mike Brown and the staff are still kind of searching for what works and when it works the best. And yeah, I think it's just a personnel thing.
Not that Davion's the answer, but do you guys feel like the Keon Ellis experiment has worked out? Like, do you think that it might be time to go back to it? Because clearly, I mean, he went away from Davion looking for more or trying to get something else. I just don't really know if we felt like Keon has provided something else.
I think he's done his job for the most part. Like defensively, he's pretty active. I think he's a threat from beyond the arc. He'll start to get treated more as one as time goes on. I think he's okay from 3. Yeah. He was great in the G last year. I think he's a good 3-point shooter. Yesterday, it was just like what we've seen with Kobe Jones at the beginning of the year. The ball's getting poked away before you even start the offense. And it's like, that can't happen. Yeah. And I think that was the main thing for Keon. And there's an adjustment to still learning the point. So
right.
I don't know. We're talking like 12, 15 minutes a night. Like I think that he's done okay, but I wouldn't mind going back to Davion because again, I think Davion should have a little more fire to him now and something to prove.
Do you think that if they do go back to Davion, is this the last stand? Like, are we at that point where that's the last time? Because I feel like
until February. I mean, until he gets traded in February.
They did, yeah.
Like you get a month. You get a month and some change now to kind of solidify.
So at what point is it not a project anymore? Is the question I'm asking you.
Well, you got to give him legit run though.
Oh, I agree.
I think they have.
They have. I mean,
I don't think
this
they
is
did
third
this
season.
No. I don't think they did. This is me coming from this year, really watching. It did feel like he got a little bit of a quick hook this season. To me.
Yeah.
To me.
I think previous years perform. I think it was just that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
I don't want to say progression because I do think his shot looks better, but I think it's just you're not really seeing like an overall growth. I mean, I would say to start the year, like during the preseason,
for sure,
we were thinking, oh, that shot is at least looking better, and it feels like it's going in more of the time. And then literally the season started, and he missed everything.
Crazy. There was one yesterday that was
I think he airball, or he
it's like not even close.
Like, it went over the other side, like the opposite side of the rim, and just
a corner three.
Got a piece of it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but like,
no, but I'm just saying De'Aaron was out, right? De'Aaron was out for those games, and I think that's when he initially got jumped over, right, for Keon.
Yeah, those Houston games, I think.
Yeah, the Houston games, and Davion came in at some point, right? I remember there was a Davion revenge game, and he balled out. It might have been like in
12,
Houston.
14
it couldn't have been in Houston because they lost both of them.
Right. I'm looking at his game logs. I mean, against the Clippers, it's both blowout losses. He had 9 points against the Clippers on 1 of 5 from 3. And then he had 8 assists in a game against the Pelicans that the Kings lost by 36 points. So I'm not going to sit here and just say, oh, my goodness, the Kings are done with Davion. They should move him right now. I think that he can bring a lot to the table as a defender. But until he starts bringing a clear positive on the offensive end,
every night,
they're going to go to someone like Keon, who is he a better option in the long run? We don't know, but he's a better option in the short term because as far as he's on a complete, negative on the offensive end. He's able to knock down shots.
And Davion's not great defensively at everything. He's good at one thing.
Yeah.
He's really good at isolation defense. Up screen gets there. He's not great at getting through it. I think he's okay. Off ball, he falls asleep as much as Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk. Like, that's probably a little dramatic, but like, he's not great off ball either. Like, he does one good thing defensively.
Yeah. And look, there's a lot to break down here because Davion ain't he might not be the answer, but he is not the problem.
Of course, the Kings losing by 36 to the Pelicans, losing by 20 last night. No, Davion Mitchell is not the problem. So I do kind of feel a little bad that we're
right. This shouldn't. I think he should be. And we got an hour with you, so we're going to talk about everything. But I do think that it definitely Davion doesn't. It doesn't warrant this much discussion when really I think somebody I thought about this, and I know that Keegan is starting to evolve into more of a shooter.
And a dunker.
Yes.
Come on.
But doesn't it kind of seem like having I know he really doesn't want to take Malik Monk off the bench, but doesn't it sometimes seem like having Keegan and Huerter is a bit repetitive?
I don't think so. I think that there's only so many it becomes the only one ball thing where it's like, if you have three guys who are better with the ball in their hand, well, not everybody can have the ball in their hand. And so at least, especially with that starting group, De'Aaron and Domas are going to have the ball in their hand 90% of the time. So I don't, that's where I've been recently thinking, like, I just don't know if Malik is ever going to crack that starting lineup.
Well, he better do it next season or he's not going to be in Sacramento.
We'll see.
And I'll tell you this right now. What, you think he'd stay as a sixth man?
I think he could. That doesn't mean he's not going to get paid.
Yeah.
And close games.
You are not sitting me behind Kevin Huerter another season. I'm sorry. And maybe Malik is a better man than me, but you're not sitting me behind Kevin Huerter for another season.
I'm just saying, if I'm closing the game, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's going to come
Give
down
him his money.
Person to person.
Well, Pajemski's closing the game too. You care, Jack Harlow?
He probably feels great about that.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, it is time, 1:15. We are talking about my trade, and I will give it to Frankie and Brenden and Chris and Nate. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season? Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995? Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Joined by our Sactown Sports Kings insiders, Brenden Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli. We have, as we await the Talking Kings, of course, but also awaiting the situation with Draymond Green and his punishment. It could be, if it's 20 games, he would again come back against the Kings, which would just be hilarious at this point. I don't think it's going to be 20, but we are waiting. Woj was just on ESPN saying that, surprise, surprise, he will be suspended, but we don't know how long. Here's an interesting nugget from, remember that Dave Chappelle skit where it's, oh, thanks, Ja. I was looking forward to hearing from you about.
Who cares about what Ja Rule got to say at a time like this?
Exactly. So you have Nick Young, Swaggy P, chiming in saying he's more of a cheap shot guy, talking about Draymond Green, but he tends to do that to a lot of Europeans. He messing with nothing but foreigners.
Oh,
Nick Young.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Green.
Who are we talking here?
Whoa.
Steven Adams.
Sabonis.
Whoa.
Nurkic.
Gobert.
I guess LeBron and Donovan Mitchell are the only two outliers. But
did he really mess with LeBron?
So what you're saying is Draymond Green should not be on the USA Olympic team.
Or he should be.
Yeah. So that is an interesting. Yeah.
That's not nothing.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It really isn't nothing.
I don't know.
I did not expect to be like Nick Young is onto something.
Well, hold on. Let him cook. Hold on. Let my man cook. So we will see. Shout out Swaggy P. Let's see what happens with Draymond Green. All right, it's time.
I really am just not looking forward to this.
I think you will be. Okay, so here we go. I think the other side might not be into this. Okay, here we go.
All right, other side.
So, the Warriors receive Harrison Barnes, Chris Duarte, JaVale McGee. The Kings receive Andrew Wiggins.
There's no way.
Anyway, I mean,
think
if you look at what Duarte brings to the table and Harrison Barnes being a kind of a poor man's Andrew Wiggins.
Wait, what does Duarte bring to the table?
Tenacity. What do they call him on here?
I don't know.
He's a secondary ball handler.
No, he's not.
He's 6'6".
Has he brought down the ball once this whole year?
This is what it says on Fanspo. You think the Warriors hang up the phone?
Yeah.
What would Wiggins solve here?
You need a wing defender.
No, I think Wiggins would be great, actually, in Sac. Okay. From Sacramento's perspective, I'm doing that easily.
I posted this yesterday, and some people said, Kings fans said they wouldn't want Wiggins. I'm thinking that's kind of crazy.
And the Warriors fans were like, oh, for sure, get rid of Wiggins.
Right.
I saw the comments.
I can GM a little bit.
As long as we get Golden State Wiggins and not Minnesota Wiggins, and I know Golden State Wiggins hasn't been great recently, but like we're talking about needing size, needing length, needing more defense. Like what Wiggins does kind of check those boxes.
Where are you at?
Wiggins just starting a 4-year deal. Huh?
That was my question. What's his contract?
Yeah,
4 years, $109 million. This is the first year.
The numbers add up as well, okay? Because Harrison's 17, Chris Duarte's 4, JaVale is 2, right? And Wiggins is at 24. The math is mathing, guys.
I mean, Wiggins is just straight up better than HB.
Yeah.
And those other two guys, like I think Duarte and McGee are.
Yeah, from the Kings side, they're really not getting rid of anything that hurts. And you're getting Wiggins, which is a flyer. And I think one of you guys said he's pretty much a younger, I think, better version of HB at his best. But the Warrior side, I mean, good luck selling that to the fan base. Yeah. Welcome back, Harrison Barnes is really tough.
And
JaVale, right.
It's you won a championship with both of them before.
And then you're giving them
throwing a pick too.
That's a little bit of cap relief because the Kings are taking money on in that deal. I mean, HB. I mean, Wiggins is making almost $30 million in the next 4 years. I mean, people are upset about Harrison Barnes having a bad game, making $17 million. So, like, what are Kings fans going to do when Wiggins turns in a game? Which he's been turning in a lot of, HB-esque stat lines this year. What's going to happen when he's making $30 million instead of $17 million?
Scooter916 on the Sac chat says, no way they're taking Barnes back.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah,
there's no way.
It's a tough sell.
A reunion.
They hate him.
He's made his way around the sun.
Hate Harrison Barnes.
They both need a fresh start.
I was hoping that game.
And you want Draymond and HB to be on the same team again?
I don't care.
HB does.
HB
does not like that.
Maybe HB
does not like that. Is there beef there?
That's the only Warrior HB didn't invite to his wedding.
For a second, I thought that's where you were going. I thought the Draymond talk.
Draymond? No,
I thought that was where you were going.
No, I don't want Draymond inside.
That was the offseason chatter.
I was down, to be honest.
I was so down.
Yeah. Now, what about now?
Not at 25.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what we're talking trade-wise, but like, there's a world I consider it. But
he's gone full overdrive.
Yeah.
The Kings will be getting
it's ridiculous.
A treat.
Distressed
throwing
assets.
Colby Jones to the Warriors too.
You lost me.
No,
you lost me.
No.
What? That's the line.
I'm out.
Yeah. Sanders wants Stanley Johnson.
Yeah. Jeremy
Throw a bid.
Jeremy Lamb, why not?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, obviously, I don't think you can sell the Warriors on it, but I do think it would be nice to get. And last last week we talked about Jonathan Kuminga, and this week, obviously, this is what happens, right? Here's a vicious rotation we're at with the Kings. They win, they show up, put the trade machine away. As you're putting it away, they lay an egg, and then you whip it right back out. And I'm tired of it, guys. So maybe, is it a change in rotation? What can be done to stop this? They need to, and look, they can, if they beat the Thunder, you can kind of assume that they'll take care of business against the Jazz and the Wizards. That's a 5-1 stretch. That's a good stretch. But it does still feel like they got to get rolling here, especially before they're coming up against that gauntlet where their next back-to-back is Suns and then the Timberwolves.
I think the 6-game homestand, I heard Katie on with Jason Ross this morning talking about it too. This 6-game homestand, it's huge. I mean, the teams come in that you're playing against. I mean, it's going to tell us a lot about where this team needs to go and what direction they're going on. I mean, if they go 5-1 on this homestand, I think we're going to be saying full steam ahead like we were before, right? But if there's a 2-4 homestand, 1-5, the chatter is going to get louder. I think that if the Kings are in a position, it's also February. Okay, as Brendan's, what was that you just dropped?
Oh, Mike didn't even pick it up. I
heard it in my headphones.
Oh, whoops, my fault.
You're kidding. I think that a 1-5 homestand really puts you in an interesting position going into the new year. And the February trade deadline's on the 8th. So, like, where are the Kings coming into the new year? If they're under 500, which is, they're 4 games over right now.
Yeah.
Well, let's say they're under 500 in January. How do you guys feel? Do you think it's time to hit that kind of like, not quite the panic button, but the very, I don't know, distressed button? If you're under 500 on January 1st, where are you with the Kings?
I think you need to decide what your expectations really were. Everybody says, I want to win a championship. That's what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
What does Monty McNair, what did he actually think was going to happen this season? And that I don't know.
I think the 2 ways to improve this team are either you're hoping, I mean, we already saw De'Aaron take a leap. I think he's been phenomenal this year. But it's either Keegan taking that jump offensively, and I don't know that is reasonable to expect it happening this year. I'm sure we'll get glimpses. He's gotten better in certain aspects, but obviously offensively he's been struggling. Or you go out and make a deal and create like a 3-headed monster. You go get a guy that's on De'Aaron or Domas's caliber and go about it that way. But again, I don't know that happens this year. Like, it has to be the right guy. And if they don't think that's available this year for a reasonable price, then I think they're just going to be patient and keep pushing that down the road until they can eventually do that. Like, there's a chance that we just ride it out this year.
Yeah. In Sean's report, I mean, I think that was a couple of days ago, right? That the Kings were going to be I think the quote was a suitor for Siakam, then kind of snuck in there. It was kind of just like, there's a belief they could grow from within. I think that was,
which is very telling.
Yeah.
That means, like, if we don't, they're preparing for, there's a chance we just, what I just said, just, write it out.
Yeah. In a weird way. I mean, I don't even know if I fully believe it, but the Kings are actually, at least from Monty's perspective, in a really good situation where they have a good roster right now. Like you said, if they just want to ride out this roster, they'll be a playoff team. I think we all know they're not going to win a championship this year, but you're also in a situation where, if you want to make that move, this roster is flawed. It is a good roster, but it's definitely a flawed roster. And I think we see that there's a very big, massive flaw in it, as they just cannot compete against certain teams. You can go out and make that move if you feel like, to your point, Alan, like you feel like this is a year that you can win a title. You could argue that no one's really separated themselves. The Denver Nuggets are the 3 seed right now. The Timberwolves right now are a 1 seed. You could argue that that's a really good opportunity to try and pounce on. So I think in a weird way, Monty is in a really good position where it's on his timeline. It really is. Whatever timeline he feels, which I don't think he's really showed his cards yet, but it's on whatever Monty McNair wants to approach this situation with.
I think that's a great point, because the other thing is, you can't be out here pocket watching somebody else's money. But if you're Monty McNair, are you also record watching? And if the Suns do put it together and KD does come back tonight or in a couple games,
I think I saw that they are supposed to all play tonight.
Okay, so they all play tonight. Let's say they just go in fuego,
first time.
And you're Monty, you think, I don't want to, haste makes waste, as they say, and they're just on a different level. Let's not make a risky move. But if something happens and the Suns can't put it together, Jamal Murray or whoever, the Nuggets are having issues, you think, you know what? There's no time like the present. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we have one more segment with our Kings roundtable with our Sactown Sports insiders. We are still taking your calls, your texts, your Sac chat. And the question is, how do you feel about the Kings and the Thunder coming up tomorrow night? Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers have owned the NFC West this season, and they look to take out their division rival Arizona on Sunday.
It's an end around to Deebo Samuel coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers and Cardinals Sunday at 1 from Arizona on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and mostly sunny skies this afternoon. Temperatures will be warming into the lower 60s as we head through the day. Expect to have mainly clear skies as we head into the evening hours with increasing clouds and cool temperatures. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at HagenOaks.com.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural minds.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Get ready for the Gin Blossoms at Gold Country Casino Resort. Get your tickets now at goldcountrycasino.com. The Gin Blossoms. January 13th at 8 p.m. Only at Gold Country Casino Resort. Must be 21 or older.
Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. One more segment for our Kings Roundtable with Brenden Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli, our Sactown Sports Kings Insiders. Got the crosstalk crossover after this with, of course, Whitey Gleason. And guys, this has just dropped about 15 minutes ago. Our favorite, everybody's favorite, Kendrick Perkins, as we talk trades. And obviously nothing is going to happen, but I do think it is interesting. And this is Kendrick Perkins on, NBA on ESPN saying, free him from all the blank that's around him. We cannot waste Steph Curry's valuable time while he's still there. Kendrick Perkins says Curry needs to get out of Golden State. There's no way this is even a waste of a conversation, right? He's finishing with the Warriors.
Yeah.
Sure?
Did he do his sign out that he always did at the end? No, yes.
Are we
sure? Yes.
I mean, they're not going to trade him, but are we sure Steph's going to
finish as a Warrior?
I've always thought that the plan was going to go to Charlotte at some point.
No. I think the other two could go somewhere else. Klay and Draymond could go somewhere else, but own Charlotte.
I think he wants to own the Hornets. I really think he wants to own the Hornets.
I think he's got a better chance of going to Sacramento. It's a better storyline.
Hey man, you said it. It's
a better storyline.
Tripping. You think going to Sacramento is?
He's from Charlotte. Okay.
His dad played for the Hornets.
He's not going anywhere.
A broadcaster.
You don't think they're gonna?
What's a better storyline? The random Hornets playing on some.
Have you seen the
trash team? What's a better storyline?
Yes.
Going to the Hornets, who we don't know. Sometimes they're good. LaMelo shows up on House of Highlights. LaMelo can't stay on the court his dang self. He keeps getting injured. Or going to the Kings in Sacramento, where he signed his first athlete, right? He's owned the Kings for majority of his career. He adds to a team and brings a chip. The only way he can one-up LeBron is bringing a championship to Sacramento.
You're right. We don't need to talk about this.
My favorite part is it would have to be a trade, right? I think the Warriors will do everything in their power to make sure he retires there. So they'd have to just call it like Boston with Pierce.
Right.
And I can imagine the trade talks of all Kings fans being like, well, I wouldn't put Keegan in the deal. Keegan's untouchable.
We can't give him away in the future for a couple of years of fun.
They will trade every person in that organization before they trade Stephen Curry.
Yeah, there's no way.
Promise.
There's no way.
They would trade Chase Center. The Warriors would just play outside.
He's going to have
nowhere to play.
He's going to have a Kobe ending.
And they'd still get great ratings.
Yeah.
They'd still get great ratings.
All right, I'm just saying the chatter is starting, and a lot of people, Kendrick Perkins and everybody is going left, saying get rid of everybody else. Kendrick goes right. Let's just move on, or have Steph move on and just leave the Warriors' ruins. I mean, look, the fall of an empire, and I do want to ask this seriously now.
Okay,
I do want to ask this: if this is the end and the Warriors are starting to crumble, does it feel? Let me ask Chris.
Sponsored by Crumble Cookies.
Sponsored by Crumble Cookies. I haven't.
Crumble.
I thought I had. You should know it. There you go. I could go for a crumble cookie anyway.
Sounds pretty good.
If this is the fall, and it seems to be the fall, I mean, the Warriors are not winning the championship this season. I feel pretty confident saying that. Does it feel as good as you thought it would when you were just, even last season, in the height of, there's no way the Warriors pull this off again? Does the fall of the empire as the Warriors, as a Kings fan, a lifelong Kings fan, does it feel as good as you thought it would?
Not yet, but I feel like we're just in the beginning of it. Like,
I want to see it all.
Steph's got to be a part of the crumbling as well. Like him getting frustrated yesterday. I saw him stomp on the bench or whatever. Yeah. It's a solid start. That's a solid start. I can't lie.
If you're not watching on YouTube right now, you should see Chris's smile. He looks like the Cheshire Cat.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Got a Grinch smile on.
Oh my goodness.
I think it would have been better if obviously the Kings would win the playoff series.
Yeah, that's right.
That's gonna be a tough pill to swallow if they don't meet them again. Just that was their one shot at taking down that dynasty. And I will say, I think that the Warriors deserve a little more criticism, in my opinion, as far as fumbling how they could have gone from that dynasty into a new era with young talent. They messed up drafts. They messed up trades. They really missed a lot of opportunities over those past couple of years. I don't know if it's because the front office was kind of checked out. But I do think that the Kings and other teams get dragged for so many things, but maybe the Warriors get dragged. And I'm sure there's some Warriors fans that might be listening and go, we get dragged all the time for missing the James Wiseman, all that. It's like, okay, that's fine. But I think a Sacramento Kings fan can't go one day without hearing about Bagley Luka. Like one day in a basketball, Tyrese is like the new one in a basketball discussion when the Warriors have made countless mistakes over the past couple of years.
Well, this is the time where it's really hurting you, right? Because this is the part where the 2 timeline thing was supposed to, the young guys were supposed to start stepping it up by now. James Wiseman, total whiff, Bagley level whiff. And then you have Kuminga, whiff. Moody.
Hold on now. See,
no.
I'm saying
Relative to, like, there's other guys they could have gone there, is all I'm saying. Like, I'm still hopeful for potential there, but you could have done better. Moody, whatever. Like, they totally fumbled the 2 timelines. And that's not to say, like, the popular opinion was trade the picks. And that might have been a better outline, you know? It's not just who you could have picked, it's who you could have traded those assets for.
Yeah, and I think the fact that they won in 2022, I mean, you had Joe Lacob doing victory laps on podcasts saying you thought that he looked like, you know, Ether and Jay-Z. You thought the 2 timelines couldn't work. And I'm sitting there, dude, it's not like those dudes helped you win. I'll never forget, I was at the parade. And James Wiseman's on a float, and I got roasted because I said, "Why is James Wiseman on a float? Why is this man on a float? Why does he have a name on his bus? Why is he on a float,
man?"
And he floated all the way to Detroit.
My favorite. My dad's a big Warriors fan, and my dad earlier this year was like, you know, Brandon Pajemski and Trace Jackson Davis are really what Nico Mannion and James Wiseman were supposed to be.
That's true.
Honestly, first of all, Nico Mannion's a crazy pull.
Nico Mannion was supposed to be the guy. Never forget, he got MVP at that Steph camp, and they drafted him 4 years later.
Man, I'm looking at this. Kuminga, I mean, Brenden probably knows off the top of his head, but do you know who the Warriors drafted Kuminga over, the pick right after him?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Chris,
Franz.
do you know?
Our guy,
Franz. Yeah.
And they love to.
Chris actually said that about a week ago.
Yeah. That's this is 2021.
No, Tyrese draft was
a whiff too.
1 year before.
But nobody was James Wiseman, exactly.
Right. Nobody expected Tyrese to go that high, but like the Warriors really liked him and considered.
Also, he just went LaMelo.
Real quick, I gotta sneak a jab in on this too. The Tyrese, that video of him, he remembers every player drafted before and everything. When like there wasn't behind the scenes orchestration, which we all heard about and we've all read about, and obviously it's way out there and very publicized now, that they orchestrated that drop themselves.
Some of it. Right. Like I think it was Atlanta. He didn't want to go to. They had 2 ball handlers.
Right.
And there was another team somewhere in there. But I don't think
Detroit,
the Warriors were one of them. Yeah. I forget what it was. But there was a couple teams that he just didn't want to go to.
Yeah.
I also hate that video because it's like, oh, look how impressive it is. He remembers 10 people's names.
Can we talk a lot?
11.
No, because we talk a lot on the show about overused sports terms, but I think we need to talk about that too. Because I was watching a special on Sunday on ESPN on NFL before the game start, and they did the same thing with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's got a list that he reads of all the wide receivers.
That's a longer list.
Taken before him, and he reads it before every game. Can we stop?
Yeah, that's too much.
Also, a lot of the names were like, well, those guys are better than you.
Do we have to do this?
I hate that. And I saw a picture of some dude, like, it's the same as, like, the guy who watches the other team celebrate with the confetti and everything. And
the guy.
Just trying to get, like, just looking for that Instagram photo so that they can be like,
fire picture, though.
It's a fire picture, but it's just like, come on, man.
Enough
like,
is
you set that.
How often do they actually go back and win? Never. Never. All right, guys, a couple more minutes with you before we get you out of here and off to our holiday party. Couple more minutes with you. I do want to ask this as it pertains to the Thunder, right? Second in the West right now. I'm not going to ask whether they're fool's gold or not, but is it possible? I mean, we knew they'd take a jump, right? But is it possible they could stay in the top 3 throughout this whole season? Or do we think still early in the season things are working itself out?
I think it's early, and there are a lot of things that have to be worked out, but there's no denying that they have arguably the best young core in the NBA right now, and they're proving that they're real. I mean, Chet Holmgren's playing very well. SGA is an MVP candidate. They have the number 1 3-point shooting team in the league, which is going to be an issue because the Kings do not have a great defense, period, but especially not a good 3-point defense. But just looking at what those guys can do, I mean, they're very impressive. Obviously, it's a very long season, and we're seeing that there's still some teams like Phoenix is playing their first game with their big 3 tonight. I mean, are they going to rise the standings? The Clippers have seemed to figured it out.
Good call.
The Lakers were playing well until they lose to the close one last night in Dallas, but there's no denying they're going to be in the mix. I think they're for sure going to be a playoff team. I don't see them missing the playoffs unless, barring injury, but another tough test.
I think they're legit. I think they're going to flirt with home seed when it comes to the playoffs. And I think everybody that we look at for the Sacramento Kings and potential trades, OKC could probably outbid them if they want to. They still have all these assets. Like we talk about OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam. It makes a lot of sense in OKC.
I didn't even think about that. I mean, everyone's thinking they're good with who they got, but
again, all the
striking
assets.
while the iron's hot.
40 first-round picks.
Too many first-round picks. Too many.
They literally have to consolidate.
Yeah.
And you might even get Clippers versus the Thunder at some point, and it's like, hey, thanks, Paul George. And Paul George is saying, for what? So there are going to be a lot of storylines. But thank you to Brenden Nunes and Frankie Cardicelli, as always, for stopping by and talking to the good people and talking to us as well about the Kings for our Kings Roundtable. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Yeah. Can't wait. And talk to you in like an hour as well.
And talk to you in about an hour.
Hopefully they got mayo hot dogs. Let's do this.
Stop.
You know what? You're the one who said, by the way, no, it's not that he went there. We can go over a little bit now. So we want to know. And then, look, Whitey got on me yesterday for we were flirting too much with bowling and video games. So we've been very all sports today. But now that Brenden said it, we can put it on the poll, Nate.
15 minutes.
Just, okay, a mayo glizzy, okay?
We already know how this poll's going to go.
No. A hot dog.
Can't do it.
No,
Too
we
late.
are. A hot dog
Too late in the show.
with only mayo, okay? Just mayo.
Psychopath
This is
behavior.
what Brenden eats
I understand
at
it's a
halftime
no-go.
at
Yeah.
every Kings game. He brought it up, not me. I would never put his business
does
out
it
in the
too.
streets like that.
Whitey does it too.
Well, we're going to find out in this cross-talk. A, are you okay? Fair or foul? Mayo glizzies. Only mayo on your hot dog. Thank you to Brenden
Flag on the
and
play.
Frankie, Stiles Watkins. We'll be right back with Crosstalk with Whitey Gleason, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
Okay, but what about the last of the Dodge Chargers and the Challengers?
This month, save up to $5,000 off MSRP and get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs and Challenger GTs with no payments for 90 days.
The savings and financing won't last long. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$16,500 total net savings after 10-261 factor rebates and 6-239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699-991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of the eligible First Responder Association only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,000 total net savings after 5,000 dealer discount. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Equals $1,389 per thousand borrowed. 10 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays. Ooma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose. Mommy. That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking up to 2 p.m., joined by one half of the Drive guys, as Whitey Gleason is providing some bass.
The pentatonics or whatever, right?
Oh, yeah. The pentatonics, they actually made a really great career for themselves. And this is where they thrive, actually, the holidays.
Holiday season, right.
So you will see them pop up on the Macy's.
The Mix 96.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mix 96. Yeah, they'll do it's the pentatonics, right? And then it's also
Mariah Carey.
Michael Bublé will show up around this time of year. And then that's like me when I'm golfing, I call it a Michael Bublé when I get a double bogey.
Do you know who loves NFL quarterback who loves Michael Bublé? Did you guys see this?
No.
I believe he just said this week, if I'm not mistaken, like 2 days ago, he's like, Michael Bublé's a beast.
Wait, let's try to guess.
Okay.
Starting QB right now.
Yes.
AFC or NFC?
Yes. AFC.
AFC.
Lamar Jackson.
Nope.
Okay.
Gotta be Ryan Tannehill.
It is not.
Has to be Ryan Tannehill.
Will Levis.
Nope.
Well, we know it's not Patrick Mahomes.
That's enough Tennessee Titan guesses, by the way.
Well, Patrick Mahomes has only been talking about that penalty for the past week, so it can't be.
Let me put it this way.
Zach Wilson?
Would I expect you guys to guess it?
Tua.
It's Tua.
Oh.
Tua's got a lot of really weird quotes.
No, he is.
He's like a strange guy.
He's unique.
That was a dolphin. That's why I did.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't pick that up. Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Whitey, how you doing? I'm like, all right.
Hanging in there. No Kyle Draper today. Again, he's been under the weather or he's, can't handle all the 49er talk. I don't know. But hopefully he's feeling better. So Jay and I again today holding it down and moving it forward as we try to figure out what is going on with the Sacramento Kings.
Another tape to burn. And is it it's got to be bad Kings, but also is it time to take the Clippers just a little bit more seriously? I know Paul George exits at halftime, but is it time to take the Clippers more seriously, or is it's still early? A lot can happen.
I think we should have already been taking the Clippers kind of seriously, I mean, they've been playing really good basketball lately. I don't know. For me, the whole thing with the Kings is just Chris and I all summer long, we talked about, they have more depth right now. I don't think they have the depth they thought they're going to have. And then when you get, in these back-to-backs and you don't have the depth, and then your best player plays really bad, which is what happened last night. So night.
All right, don't do that. You can't do that.
That's what it was. Trying to get a rise out of me, huh?
Yeah, trying to get a rise out of
You
Chris.
seen the commercial for the Christmas games on?
No.
Yeah, and they have all the little action figures.
Oh yes, I did see that. And Steph does the night. Yeah, it was really cute. Huh?
Yeah.
It was really.
It's gonna
really
be cute when it's in Sacramento.
Yeah, one day, hopefully one. I see what you're doing. No, that's not happening.
Cute
that's
Sacramento.
Not
I'm not.
Whitey, what do you think about the whole hubbub that has been made with these back-to-backs? Like, I mean, it's something that every team has to deal with, but the fact that the Kings have, just struggled incredibly on these back-to-backs, like, is it just a thing that, whatever, some teams, it just on any given year, the Kings were good last year, 8-7 on back-to-backs. This year, 0-3. Is it just one of those things that you can't really, prepare, like, you can't I don't know how you make sure your team is good on back-to-back.
Right. And you try to find explanations for it. There's some possible reasons they don't quite all add up. I think, you're a jump shooting team still.
Sure.
So you're prone to those off nights, and they're not a great defensive team. So all those things contribute to that, but still it's like, wait, that's a little extreme.
Yeah. Which is more confusing to you, the back-to-back thing or the losing multiple games to only 4 opponents all year?
Most confusing to me is Allen saying Steph Curry's coming to Sacramento.
No.
That's the most.
That.
I was like,
no, I did not say that.
And you're trying to explain to him, Charlotte, he's from there. And
no, I don't care about that. No, what I was saying, Kendrick Perkins, if you're just now joining us,
good source.
Joining us. Kendrick Perkins said, get Steph out of Golden State. And I said he has just a good chance of going to Sacramento as he does anywhere else, really.
Yeah.
I guess if that's
you did say that.
Yeah.
You did say that.
If everybody else is at 0, then yeah.
Sure.
I'd say so.
It's a stronger 0. It's 0 in bold. It's like those pie charts. No, but in a different color.
Yeah.
This no is in purple.
Isn't it great though? I know you were in the Bay Area a long time. Right now, I think if you're objective, I think it's easy to say I'd rather be the Kings right now than the Warriors.
Oh, of course.
Isn't that great?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean that I thought about that. You know what I mean?
I thought about it before you did, Whitey.
No. I
why do you think I'm here?
Like, I mean, it's part of the reason the Kings are on the rise, and we don't know how high they will rise. But I did not think. I know everyone, and over the summer, we want to get number 5 and all this. I just didn't see it with that roster. I never saw it with that roster. I didn't see it. If you look at Andrew Wiggins, we just got to have Warriors Andrew Wiggins. No, you need 2022 Andrew Wiggins. That's really been the only really good Andrew Wiggins. And then Andrew Wiggins, I think, early 2023 before the injury and then the whole thing that happened. So you've seen much more of the Andrew Wiggins you're seeing now than what you saw in 2022. And you caught lightning in a bottle with Jordan Poole, who we know what he's doing or what he's not doing in Washington. So them trying to run it back and the whole Chris Paul thing never made very much sense to me. But now looking at the Kings and how far they will go, and, they're in an interesting spot, completely different expectations, I would say. And I think the question becomes for the Kings, what does your timeline look like, right? And I am curious, Whitey, because I know you've talked about so many teams over your time doing this. And has there ever been a team? So we're at, I believe, 7 blowouts out of the Kings' 9 losses. Mm-hmm. Has there ever been a team that just would not show up like the Kings and still maybe not even won a championship, but was a hardcore contender and maybe had a deep playoff run? It feels like you cannot just sell games and when it comes time for the playoffs, be a legit contender. It feels like something is wrong with the foundation for this to continue to happen.
I don't know if it's wrong with the foundation. I mean, it's not even Christmas yet, as you know. So you have a lot of time to look in there, get under the hood and figure out what's wrong and maybe do something about it. You have a lot of time to do that. Not easy to do, but I don't think we could write off the season now because they're getting blown out. Plus, what are they, 13-9?
Yeah.
And there was a few years ago, that would have been that alone. 13-9. Yeah. Let's have a parade.
Yeah.
So big picture. Yeah, there's definitely some things wrong. Like I said with Chris, I really think that's a big part of it. The depth they were planning to have this year, it was smart. The moves they made so far, they haven't worked out. And so you're a little shorthanded. By the way, at the Warriors too, I think they really missed Bob Myers in a lot of ways.
No, he got out of there. He knew what he was doing. Charles Barkley even said, good job getting off the sinking ship. And Bob said, I have friends over there. And Charles Barkley does not care.
Charles Barkley said, they're going to be here next year.
Exactly. It's terrible.
Yeah. So now, I mean, looking at this Thunder situation, you got the 2 games with the Jazz and the Wizards after that. And the next back-to-back, Whitey. And we'll close with this. We're about under a minute here. So we'll close with this. This is how we started the show. I sent out
How many seconds?
No, I'll go quick.
All right,
You're taking away from it.
Okay.
I sent out a PSA to Vivek. I said on December 23rd against the Timberwolves, which is the next time the Kings will have the second half of back-to-back. If they come out and lay an egg like this, you need to refund everybody in that arena.
Wow. I mean, you're just
what?
In here.
I'm running for mayor soon too.
Yeah.
But
13-9, Alan.
But
13-9.
I know, but you're not
Kings.
showing. I'm saying you saved your money. And if they didn't show up, why do I have to pay? It's bad service to me. I don't want to start this again. It's bad service.
Are you saying you're either not giving the best effort? To me, that's the only reason why I would ever say I need my money back.
I don't know.
Think it's that.
I don't know how to say it.
I don't think this team's capable of that. I don't know about you. This team,
of not giving a good effort
as a team. Yeah, I don't think that's in their makeup. I think
but it's happening.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's a matter of that's what I'm saying. It's not a matter of effort. It's sometimes when you get paddled, when the other team is faster than you, stronger than you, bigger than you, you can't catch them. It looks like you're not trying. Sometimes, no, they're just better than you. And that's been the case, I think, too often.
But that's the foundation that I'm talking about.
Okay. I think we're in agreement here.
I'm just saying, different tones.
I don't think the foundation needs to be, you're talking foundation, you're talking about getting rid of your key players.
No. Then that's, okay, maybe I just mean the bones of it. All right. Nate says we got to go. So we do have to go. Thanks for listening to Stiles and Watkins. Thank you to Nate Littlefield, who did a great job. Thank you to our Sactown Sports Insiders. You have the Drive Guys up next with Whitey Gleason and Jay filling in for Kyle Draper. Until tomorrow, secure the bag, light the beam.